What is going on, internet? And welcome to OnlyCops. I am currently writing solo, but I shouldn't be here for too terribly long. I'm going to go ahead. Happy late Marines Day. Yeah, actually, happy birthday to any Marines I have in the chat. It's belated, but they can't tell the difference anyways. I do want to go ahead and give our shout outs, and we will proceed with the Tuesday stream. We are indeed on time and rocking away at it. I want to thank everybody that has America that has stopped by. We are keeping score courtesy of producer Juan. Do have a really fun little score sheet, and I added our first place person here. Dialysis dude is got first place, and so whoever gets first place for it, we will go ahead and add them there for the week or for the stream. Mac Daddy says we're all still drunk. I bet that or hungover, one of the two. Let me say hi to everybody. Dialysis dude, as we can see, got first place. FAFO got foist or first loser. We did get. Gotta push a button here. There we go. We got. Let's see. RJ is also in the chat. The Dan Hammer was theoretically first, but he was the first mod at the very least. Chris Kaufman, first to like the stream. That is an important delineation. Mr. Toastar, Poseidon, Custodes, Robert. Robert, it's good to see you, brother. Let's see. Am I missing someone here? Scrolling. Broken Lycan, it is good to see you. Jordan, Mac Daddy, apparently one of our resident Marines here. He's representing the crown consuming of the group. Notorious Emu said hi to Mac Daddy. Lapete, Robert Carson, who says he's staying awake. Welcome. Hopefully I can keep you from being too terribly tired. Sailor George, Christy C. Chill isn't in our vocabulary. That's true. That's true. What is it? Retreat hell or whatever it is. There's a some Marine said that somewhere. Little Duck. Was that a bobcat? Oh, we have a producer one has entered the chat. Stand by. I'm going to adjust our OBS so that y'all can see his wonderful face.
I am indeed a bobcat.
He says, I am indeed a bobcat. I think I've adjusted it. That looks good. Okay. It'll showcase itself here for producer Juan, and he can decide whether he's satisfied. Pat B, it's good to see you. Jordan Sutton, Andrew Sawyer. I was hanging out with him in the comment section in one of our recent uploads. Spike, John C, Ballistic 1123. That sounds like a book name or a manga. Christy C, I think I got everybody. Everybody else, yell at me in the comment section if you feel like I've missed you. Savory Salmon, Frederick with a K. Retreat, hell, we just got here. There it is. I think that was like America's first toe dip into World War I. And the French didn't know how we like to party. And we did so unfairly and with better. Well, at the time, it was not better guns, but we figured it out. Anyways, shout out to everybody. The scorecard is now a rolling scorecard, so the score will roll over from week to week. I'll let you guys go and admire that municipals currently, as far as sworn personnel, are at the bottom of the list here. Outside of feds, I guess, they technically count. And weirdly enough, and this was totally not on purpose, second responders are tied with state boys for leading the way. Hopefully today we can erode some of that. Administrators are at -70 at the lowest where they belong.
So is there a prize at the end of the year for whoever has the
I wonder, we should
score?
do that. We might start it. We'll roll it over at, like, on the New Year's stream. Like, we'll do like a final like screenshot of it, whatever, and then zero it out. And then we might do one like for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
I might actually have to go through and make like an actual like score sheet. That'd be like unlawful arrest count is like automatically negative, whatever. And then there'll be like the subjective side of it where we get to kind of say, well, you know, If we feel like it's a reasonable expectation, irreasonable expectation, or like crazy unreasonable, like we can kind of go through there. It's like when the camera guy can't hold the damn phone still for 2 whole seconds. Like it's not asking a lot versus like he didn't have like a 200 millimeter lens. Like, well, what do you expect? It's a cell phone. It's a potato.
I like the idea of going off of vibes.
It's the electoral college version of doing this.
Yeah, it's like, well, I can override you.
Squirtle is here to fix people in the chat, and I think I said hi to Pat B. Either way, World War I think the shotguns came afterwards. I think it's once we got to the trenches, we got the shotguns. I don't know. I'm not a subject matter expert. Anyways, the scorecard will stay as it is.
Didn't they have trench shotguns?
Yes. What I'm saying is, like, we entered the war, showed up, got to trenches, and we're like, man, rifles suck for this. And then a bunch of 16-year-old kids with shotguns showed up.
Some trench shorties.
Did some attitude adjusting. But anyways, this is OnlyCops. For those of you that are uninitiated, we do, say, educational pieces on law enforcement adjacent stuff on Tuesdays. And then sometimes we get some body cam on Tuesdays, but Thursday is our dedicated body cam breakdown stream where we apply the wealth of law enforcement knowledge that we collectively have and then have commentary from non-law enforcement people who can contextualize my likely very biased opinion on a lot of this stuff. I actually had a discussion with somebody about this. Like, I have a skewed, I'm in the firearms industry, right? And so because I get to play with everything, I have a very skewed perspective on it, right? Kind of how, like, you won because you get access in the professional end. Like, you invest in nicer equipment. Good enough for you is going to be very different than good enough for, like, I just want to take pictures for my, like, cruise or whatever. And you're like, well, it won't bother you when XYZ is not happening, but it will bug you if you're doing it for a living. I think the same kind of applies a lot. You see this in military, you'll see this in law enforcement, that when you have to live with something for a lot, whether it's boots or even a pen, like I joked about this with like a Bic G2 pen. So I was like, I like get offended every time somebody hands me something else. But I spent a lot of time with it. And what I was writing down was like critical. If I missed information or didn't put it right, it was gone. And it was gone for forever. I'm probably never seeing that person ever again. So it kind of mattered. I think the same thing goes for this kind of stuff. I'm actually glad for the non-sworn people that we have because they maybe bring it back down to earth where I might be a little more biased on certain things. But anyways, where to get started? A day in the life of a rural sheriff. Rural. Georgia. This is going to be...
There's your bobcat.
Seeing Daniel Defense, we don't want to talk about the it's the Hudson 9 with less steps. It's like taking like a Ford Mustang and deciding to put like Kia parts in it, and not good things happen.
One government employee you often don't see until there's trouble. If you've done something wrong, he's the last guy you want to meet. But if you need help, you desperately hope that he or she is on the way. I'm talking about a cop, a police officer.
Where'd it go? Where's media? Oh.
Ah, that works. No.
Bro,
Put it back.
A closed collar with no tie and a jacket. If you're going to do the jacket and you're going to have a collared shirt, just leave it open if you're not going to do the tie. Like, just a top button or something. But like,
see, and I was gonna be like, I have nothing to say about his outfit. Yeah, it's terrible. He should have buttoned the top button.
The ghetto picture-in-picture.
I was gonna say, so literally I have this exact setup in my, obviously much nicer TV, but like my studio, I have that plant, I have that brick wall. I was just editing pictures.
Do you want to give him the +2 back?
Look like this.
You want to give him the +2 back?
Yeah, I'll give him the +2 back. We'll even it out just for a classic timeless backdrop there.
Hilarious.
PBS style.
Yeah, but yeah, probably a more modern screen here. But
the men and women who wear a badge and a gun and enforce the law and try to keep us safe.
That Jerry Springer chic.
Oh yeah, dude.
Oh, look at that. I love it too because like he could actually, it's not just like a little green screen thing. They put a thing on there. You can look back and it's
In the city, we call them
Actually,
police.
okay.
some
But out
dude
here,
crouching
they're
down at the
called
bottom pushing a
deputies,
VHS.
And the man in charge is the sheriff.
We're laid back enough here that
Oh gosh.
during the springtime, fish start biting.
They do start biting.
If nothing's going on, one of the deputies and myself, we might want to take the afternoon off and go fishing.
Police! Go in the back, all the way in the back.
What's
All the
up
way in
with
the
those
back.
hats?
Get flat, ladies. Get flat. On the ground. Police!
What in the hell is in these uniforms?
What's wild is back then, before there was like a lot of formalized training on it, they just kind of winged it, you know. And you can see some of it, right?
Some.
When we think of
Some winging
cops,
it.
this is what we usually think of. Urban cops, big city police who knock down doors and
This looks
yell
like a
and go in
gang.
with their guns drawn.
I mean,
They're
it's what the government be is a gang.
I understand, but like, this just looks like your ops found you. And they're
ops.
digging through your pockets for any money you got. Like, what is going on here?
I was part of the slightly more PC ops.
Well, because like you're used, even in old movies, you're used to like the nice class A's and the fancy hat and the big old beaten stick. You just look a little bit more
This guy's straight up, yeah.
crisp. This dude's over here with his fisherman hat.
I'll say this too. It's what sketches me out about like plainclothes officers. I'm like, nah, dude. Like, you get smoked in plainclothes, and like, can you really say assault on a peace officer? It's just an ag assault, like regular, because there's no reasonable expectation to think this person trying to like roll up on me is a cop.
I'm gonna pin Notorious Emu's urban cops. Because Urban's doing a lot of work here.
tough, suspicious. They don't
Like,
say
this
much,
is-
and you
this
don't
is,
talk back to them.
A PC
If
way
you've
of
done
saying
something
these
wrong,
dudes-
these can be scary guys. But in most
Like, look at this.
the job
You
of a
telling me
police
that's
That was
a cop?
that was literally like a Ruger 1022. He was holding it like it was
Georgia.
He found an AK-40. Like, this is literally
Bro.
today. Post inflation, $50 at a pawn shop.
He's an urban cop.
Also, like, this hat is
I'm
really
saying.
offensive.
The job of a peace officer isn't like what you see
Gotta
on
slip
I'm
himself
telling you,
a
they're
20
or the
just-
movies
they're
or the
just
6
stealing.
o'clock news.
Yeah.
This is just a robbery.
I mean,
So now we're just going to sweet old Georgia.
asset forfeitures, robbery with extra stabs. I have strong feelings about it.
It's Taylor County, about 45 miles southwest of Macon. 7,600 people live here on 380 square miles of forests and meadows, farms, and a few small towns.
Not a glove in sight.
This is what most of Georgia looks like.
Oh, hold on.
And for
We'll take some points from municipals for that one. For their urban excursion there. We'll take some points. Jeez.
most rural police officers in the
Accurate
state, this is a
depiction of
typical day.
Baltimore
I'll tell you what, let me do this for you. Let me just round him up and talk to him.
The sheriff here is Nick Giles. He's been in this department for 20 years.
It did,
On the phone,
indeed.
a woman who loaned a friend some money to buy Christmas gifts for his kids, and now the woman wants to be paid back.
Let me
Civil.
find him and I'll talk to him for you.
1,000% civil.
You're wasting
If
time.
that doesn't work, then the second thing we can do is find out who his supervisor is out there at the highway department, and we'll talk to him. And then if that doesn't work, your third alternative
We
would
raid
be
his
to
house
garnish
and we
his
dig through his
wages.
drawers and find some cash.
He
and
spends a
pay him
lot of
back with
time
that.
on the phone and a lot of time in
We're
his
sending in the
unmarked
urban
car.
cops to deal with
And
him.
on the
Urban
road,
cops.
we come across his next job, a report about an abandoned car that's been here since yesterday.
Tim, well, I'm going to be out with this vehicle. It appears to be abandoned on the side.
The car's pretty beat up. The front left tire is a
I
spare,
was about to say it's
and
a
it's
Trans Am.
flat, and the license plates are expired. It's against the law to drive a car with tags dated 1993.
Good thing he's not
Before
driving.
long, Wainwright's tow truck shows
Dude.
up. They work on the car for a while, and then a few minutes later, the owner of the car arrives with some friends.
What you need to do is get a tag. Go to your county and get you a tag for it.
Hands in pockets.
And bring your tag receipt up there.
Bro, no vest. I don't even think he's got a gun on him, to be honest. Like, it'd be wild, yo.
by the sheriff's office.
Vehicle?
And that's all I need. I'm not going to charge you for operating it without a tag. I'm going to let you slide on that.
Yeah,
Fair
'cause
enough?
you can't. He
Good
wasn't
enough.
operating it.
Anything you want to get out of it? Anything for you?
He was the
It'll
one who
cost
did
the man some money, but at least he won't get a ticket and have to pay a fine, which also means his insurance won't go up. Sheriff Giles says in small-town Georgia, you have to be nice to people.
It's like literally the tow truck from Cars picking this up or whatever his name was.
Even if you're the sheriff. Besides
Traeger
that,
or
he
whatever,
says,
what was his
it
name?
pays off in the end.
Say, for instance, we've had a burglary. Several young people were seen in the area. I can go out there and do a little talking, and chances are I can find out what happened through an informant or someone there. A lot of the deputies
90s
they wonder,
teal and
well, you know,
purple.
God,
It was
how
a
does he
thing.
keep doing that?
Mater.
You look back,
Mater, there it
somewhere
is.
along the line, I gave that guy a
That's
break.
close. Toe
I
Mater. There
helped
you
him
go.
out. You be nice to people and you treat people with courtesy, it'll come back. One day you'll be rewarded for it in some way.
Our last stop. Jarrell's General Store has been here 90 years, since 1905.
1000%. It's the same guy still there. He's just like 95.
Mm-hmm.
And there's now like 8,000 people in Taylor County. And it's supposed to.
The sheriff likes to drop by every once in a while to see Mrs. Jarrell, who is a young and lively 80 years old.
Everything going all right?
Yeah, doing pretty good. Just
Keeping everybody straight out
trying to
there?
keep everybody straight out here.
They sell everything.
Minus
in
10
here.
for Pepsi.
Candy, crackers,
kidding.
fishing line, nylon
especially in
stockings,
Georgia.
bread, meat,
Right?
cereal, soap,
Especially in
pots
Georgia.
and pans, kerosene lamps, light bulbs, on and on. The sheriff wondered if Mrs. Jarrell had any problems lately. She says no, not really, but she lives next door to the store, and sometimes young people drive too fast and too loud up and down the road.
I'll
Those
tell
damn
you,
youngins.
I'll tell my deputies, and we'll see can't we get them sort of troll up here a little bit more, maybe on the weekends.
Sure would appreciate it, Nick.
Drops in the
It may be fine. It may not be
Sure.
up to anything, but it's
Yeah,
just
they-
aggravating
They
all
hadn't got
times
any-
of the night. And it's 3 and 4 at a bunch.
They hadn't got any business out that time
that
of
time of night.
Sure hadn't.
And that loud music. Boom, boom, boom.
I thought this was a free country. Stand by. Hold on.
What was that loud music?
Mm-hmm. Gotta get them at the zero.
You'd be fine.
Exactly.
But
ain't no
that's
ain't no
the way it is.
banjo in that music.
no, maybe I'm too old for that.
Well, no, you're not. It's just
He rarely wears a gun. He's never been shot. He's never shot anybody. As far as he can remember, he's never even pulled his gun. But don't misunderstand. There's crack and cocaine
'Cause he
in this
ain't never
county.
seen a
Every
bobcat
year or
out
so,
there.
there's a rape and a murder. Every month, there's burglaries, some bad checks, a stolen car. And despite his easygoing ways, sometimes the sheriff gets mad.
you know, I see a young kid whose clothes are ragged and torn.
By young
and,
kid, he means a goat.
the mother and the
Like
father,
a baby goat.
deadbeats, a lot of heavy drinking,
Man,
lot of
fishing and
drug
shopping
usage.
while on city.
kids being neglected, those kind of things. I get mad about those. I get mad at the mother, the father. You know.
I get
What do you
mad.
say?
Well, you know, I just tell them that if they don't do right, get the kid in church and Sunday school this Sunday, clean the kid up. You know, quit throwing your money away on beer and liquor and start buying something for your children.
Being liquor.
I'm gonna start and make things hard on you. I'll lay out
sounds like
here and
official
catch you
oppression.
behind the wheel. You know, one way or another, you know, I'm gonna break you up, or I'm gonna try to.
We spent 2 days on the roads of Taylor County, and this is what we found. One abandoned car on the side of the road. A woman calling to get a Christmas loan paid back. A kindly lady complaining about loud cars on the road outside her country store. What else? A nice man, easygoing, who likes to give people a break, who'd rather talk to you than write you a ticket and throw you in jail. Still, he has a temper, especially when he comes across someone hungry, abused, neglected, and that someone is a child. His name is Nick Giles. He's the sheriff of Taylor County.
I'm gonna take my 2 points back for the media wasting my time. Also gonna take some from chat. I'm teasing, it's fine. We'll take 2 from chat. This is on the vibes. That's probably actually very reasonable. I was looking at the statistics for what, Dan? I was looking at the statistics for a very small municipality that's near me, and they did 17 arrests in 1 month. I think they answered like 760 911 calls. So it's like dispatched calls, probably also including self-initiated, like traffic stops. And I was like, I'd do 17 arrests myself in a month. And we probably did, I think our average was like 1,200 calls for service a day in the city that I was in. So it was like in one day you would eclipse, and mind you, manpower differences were wildly different. They're dealing with less than 50. We had more than 50 in one given time in the city. So like we had more people. There's also more population, so you're going to get more criminality. It's just like the law of averages, right? But it would be tedious. I feel like keeping up with everyone's personal business and having to stay in the know, getting called for kind of dumb stuff all the time is probably really common. And so though it happens in bigger cities, generally once you get to like a certain like population density, people stop wanting to see police because they see them all the time. And so you try to steer clear versus they probably go out of their way to say hi to the deputies of Taylor County, Georgia, or whatever that was. The few times they see him not fishing.
Probably fishing with them.
Probably. Prisoners in Finland. Yeah, you're pretty much in prison. Look at this.
This man is serving a
They don't
life
need
sentence
walls.
for
Where are you gonna
murder.
go?
I'm sorry, I'm a little body conscious, as you can see. I've gained a few pounds.
A dip in the frozen lake behind the prison is part of his regular workout routine.
See, in Finland, this is prison, and here it's just what Joe Rogan tells you to do every morning for your mental health or whatever.
Welcome to life in one of Finland's open prisons.
Wait, what was this guy in for?
Murder.
This guy's
Serving a life sentence for murder.
he's a life
Murder.
Okay, I'm listening.
User experience, all kinds of digital and IT studies.
And we have this kind of normality principle that prisoners should be treated equally, even though they are prisoners, but they should have access to same services and rights as other citizens.
In recent years, Finland has been named the happiest and safest country in the world.
I think there's some merit to that. I when you look at, especially, you got to imagine, like, even in the U.S. Constitution, we're known to have particularly bad prisons here. A punishment is just that, and it's supposed to be reasonable and within, like the punishment should fit the crime kind of thing, right? There's a lot, literally the entire legal code and legal process is designed to try to suss out what that is. I think there's too big a range for, like, murder can be 20 years or your life, which is a wild difference, right? And that'd be capital murder. I think like second degree and whatnot is less. But I was like, I heard something.
Also,
moving
like,
somewhere.
this has always been my thing. Is like, okay, so let's say you rob a 7-Eleven and you leave with $500 from the cash register, right?
Right.
You could be facing a lot of years. Now, let's say you are committing securities fraud, and what you do ruins thousands of people's life
thousands
savings.
of people's lives, yeah.
And now they're bankrupt. You go for 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're not looking at it from like it, because it feels worse when you
Yeah.
can individualize a thing.
Yeah.
You punish harsher for that
Yeah.
than you do when something has a bigger effect. And I mean, you can talk about, like, well, rich people have more access to resources, et cetera, et cetera. They make the laws, all that stuff. But, like, the way we think about punishment and crime is very skewed in the sense that, like, when it's something that we can very easily visualize and go, that could happen to me,
Yeah.
you want to really punish that hard. But, like, when it's something abstract and hard to comprehend, then suddenly
Just a slap on the
there's no
wrist.
fervor, even though you're probably more likely to be a victim of that than, like, armed robbery.
Yeah.
World.
Especially
Citizens
if you're,
here
like, in
enjoy
the
generous
suburbs.
public benefits, universal health care, subsidized daycare for children, and free college tuition. Promotional films like this, produced by Finland's Criminal Sanctions Agency, document how prisoners are eased back into society with work opportunities and help from counsellors. And the incarceration rate
Also,
here is one of the
putting
lowest.
a capital murder person in the same cell
Oh,
block
dude,
as
is
like a
someone?
dude
Yeah,
who was smoking an ounce of weed.
dude, that's the worst. And honestly, county jails are the worst for that. Because prison, there might be some, because you'll have like the supermax guys versus just like, but like state penitentiaries and county jails, like while you're waiting for your trial, like, dude, this guy just like murdered a family of 4, and this other guy's like, yeah, I had the wrong deputy pick me up for half an ounce of weed or whatever, and you're having to share like a cell and like workout time or whatever. Like that's wild. This does say something here though. Look at that. And that's over 50 years. So like that's actual, like that's good data versus just saying, well, you know, this year it's better than last year. It's like, well, what does that mean? You know, because like here, this year was better than last year, but then clearly something happened, and then, you know what I mean? It's going to happen. This is a good trend.
In Europe, a quarter of what it was in 1950. In Finland, only 1 in 3 former convicts ends up back in.
That is wild. I don't know what the recidivism rate is in America, but it's not this. I tell you that. Like,
Real bad. I can look it up right now.
it's real bad. 1 in 3 is pretty good. Because that's 66%.
Yeah, so within 10 years, 82% recidivism.
Recidivate, as opposed
Yeah.
to don't. Wow.
Yeah. So within 1 year, 43%. So we're already.
So they're 30,
past
and we're
that in
double
1
that and
year.
then some. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, 3 years, 68%. 5 years, 70%. By 10 years, 82% have
That's
come right
wild.
back. Yeah.
Eastern European prisons are different. They have minimal force that they can do. 2 years. And murder only like 5 years, but it's harsh. Maximum terrorist so like 20 years. I'll also say this. The one thing that they never really address with a lot of these studies is, though I do believe that diversity is one of the best things that's ever happened here in America, and we are literally the most diverse place on the planet. And I would argue one of the most tolerantly diverse. When you go to a metropolitan city, it's very rare that you'll see more than 10 people that look like you in a building. Typically there's Japanese, Chinese, Cantonese, Korean, on top of Mexican, Spanish, you know, Argentinian, Colombian. Like, it's a very cool melting pot. The problem becomes when you get into lower income areas where you have a lot more ignorance, or prisons, where diversity is valued maybe like in the workplace, or you have like a unique way of solving like engineering issues or whatever. In prison, it's just better ways to self-segregate. And you end up like hating people for like really arbitrary reasons. But
And in low-income areas, same thing, yeah. Because it's like, oh, well.
That's how you self-segregate. And you'll even see it in like higher income areas where you'll see like an entire neighborhood that's nothing but, you know, Korean or Vietnamese. And they did it because they prefer their cultural norms being observed, and they prefer a lot of that stuff. Typically, you don't get a ton of crime there, but you'll definitely see like bias and favoritism, and like how that city council is going to decide to approve businesses. You know, who's going to get the loan versus who doesn't get the loan and at what rate. But that's in Eastern European countries, they've as like geographically self-segregated. You have to an American, you might just see white person, but that's a German, French, and, you know, English person, which all self-segregate into not only geographically their own countries, but also within regions of those countries. They'll stick to towns. You know, like the amount of people that are like 18th generation people in some town in Sweden is really common, versus in the States, it's very rare you ever get past like 3 or 4 generations that have lived in the same town. That's incredibly rare. So anyways, that's the only thing I don't like about a lot of these statistics when it comes to crime, is it doesn't take that into account. They all typically they like the same soccer team. They all look the same. They all generally have the same personal history. They eat the same food. They have like, when you have all of these things in common, it's much easier to get along.
It's also much easier to say, well, they just made a mistake.
Right.
Let's give them a nicer place to be in prison, and let's try to spend money on rehabilitating them.
Right.
Whereas like When they don't look like me and they don't think like me and they don't act like me, I can very easily go, well, fuck that guy.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. It's distance, and whether for better or for worse.
It's way harder to empathize with somebody in that position. You just go, that's a scumbag criminal. Punish, punish, punish.
Yep. Yeah,
prison.
That's
And
the
it
other
sucks
thing I
because
don't like.
society as a
The
whole
United
suffers
States,
from
where 2 out of 3
that kind of
get
thing.
locked up
And yes,
again
Mac Daddy,
within
privatization
2
of prisons
years.
is a huge, huge problem.
That's a big issue. Yeah.
It makes, it provides an incentive to create more prisoners.
Also,
Like-
Doug. Also, Robert. Like, dude, shout out to the super chat, my dog.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm trying to keep up with reading, but like my dog.
Of release. A 2018 bill included sentencing reforms meant to reduce what is referred to as recidivism, but they only apply to inmates in federal custody. Just 10% of the
I was about to say.
2.3 million people incarcerated in the US.
It's almost nobody.
Critics say the 2018
Again, your
reforms are only a
securities fraud.
small first step and fall far short of the kind of meaningful change Finland is so proud of. The scale, of course, is different. Today there are fewer than 3,000 in the Finnish prison system. The number of people behind bars in the US is equal to half of Finland's total.
Again, this isn't a fair comparison because New Jersey's half of the total population of Finland, and that's a relatively small city in what's an enormous country.
Per capita would be a much better.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That would have been a more fair way of presenting the information. Come on, insider.
It's still probably dunking on them, but
Yeah, but at least it's like equitable as far as evidence is concerned.
Population. A reimagining of what prison looks like here started nearly 70 years ago, when this Scandinavian nation began building one of the most humane systems in the world. In some of the latest steps, Finland's Criminal Sanctions Agency is investing heavily in technology training.
The first topic is what is AI? Then the second topic, problem solving with AI.
And building a state-of-the-art smart prison for women. And even testing VR to provide an escape from the drab walls and fluorescent lighting of Turku, Finland's highest.
I tell you what, beta testing for video games, and like you don't have to worry about NDAs because where are they gonna go? So there's a lot that goes into like this has been tried and then taken away and then tried and taken away because it gets abused. It was famously a big garden in Huntsville. So they had a huge garden, and the prison was actually able to make all of their own food. And so they were getting organic food because they didn't have to have pesticides and all that stuff, and it was all getting farmed by hand, right? And so saves the taxpayer a bunch of money. The prisoners they'll be like, well, I'm willing to work harder for better food because I'm stuck with whatever food I got. And you have the short timers that like buy in, and then especially the lifers were like about it. They had one random rich dude's son that like bitched about it. It was like, this is slave labor. And I'm not saying, especially hard labor, like hard manual labor can 100% be abused. You can look at the Shawshank Redemption where like the guy, spoiler alert, the prison owner base, or not the owner, but the, what's his name? What's that position called?
Warden?
Yeah, the warden was basically undercutting labor costs for like civil projects. So you take a bunch of prisoners, run out there, and let's say you had to go dig something. We could do it for pennies on the dollar, and of course he's not paying the prisoners, he's paying himself. And so people would actually go, and then the more money he made was
Which,
like...
by the way, is exactly how it works. That's
Exactly,
our
yeah.
Private prison system just showcased.
Yeah, and so what they would do is they then would do like a racketeering gig where they would accept money in the form of bribes from actual contracting companies to not bid for stuff so that they could have... So it's cheaper for me to pay this guy $10,000 individually than it is for me to lose a $300,000 contract, right? For a civics work or whatever. All of which has the customer losing because you're either having unskilled laborers building it for less money or semi-skilled guys coming from a shady dude. But I do think that there's some opportunities where, especially for lifers, you could do beta testing for games. You could do like maybe startup testing. If they're willing to self-select to do it, I do think there's value in it. But that's again, where in a, like where Juan and I come from with like Latin, like I like working with my hands. That's a cultural thing. My dad did it. My grandpa did it. My great-great-grandpa did it. So I might see woodworking as like, oh wow, if I'm going to be stuck here for the rest of my life, I'm going to get really good at this, or welding or whatever. And so if it was just a Mexican prison system and it was just a bunch of Mexican dudes, it'd be like, hey, at least I get to have nicer furniture and whatever. But if my culture doesn't line up with someone else's, in one set of circumstances, it seems cruel and unusual, versus another, it doesn't. Like, it's important.
Security closed prison. Mika, who is 10 years into a 15-year sentence,
Joo.
is walking through a 3D forest.
Kamala ottaa nuo lasit pois tiedäksä palata tähän todellisuuteen taas.
He appreciates the chance to interact with VR technology and learn the basics of working with computers.
Sanotaan lisään vielä tämän verran, että tämmöisiä vankeja, ketä on välillä käynyt vapaana ja tullut takaisin, niin on sanonut ihan suoraan, että ei siellä pärjää, niin kun, että siellä on niin paljon erilaista tämä kaikki niin kun tämmöiset, että kaikki on niin paljon tietokoneistettua, että olisi hyvä saada sitä oppia.
We try to educate
Bro, imagine you go into
prisoners to
prison
use
like late 90s. You had like a Windows 95. You come out like 2011 and there's iPads and iPhones freaking, and you're just like, you might as well have come from like the industrial age.
Yeah, basically.
You
You see a PS5 after the last thing you saw was like an Atari. Jeez. Especially if it was like a Supermax and maybe you don't know anything at all about what's going on. You're like, wait, the guy from what is it? Not The Office. How did Trump get the "you're fired" thing? What was that from?
Apprentice?
The Apprentice.
This would have been pretty that dude in the hallway scene from Home Alone is president.
Wild dog.
that it would really
Twice.
help them to rehabilitate, but help them to take care of themselves and take care of their daily affairs and the kind of things, the kind of skills that you need when you reintegrate back to society.
Welcome to the future, old man.
Now Finland is investing in the infrastructure to support that readjustment. A €34 million prison that many hope will set the standard for the future.
But 34
No
million
bars,
seems cheap.
glass
I was
windows,
about
and
to say, Doug, like, well, I guess when you're only prisoning like 10,000 people or something,
I
less
guess
than that,
so,
it's
yeah.
probably like 500 inmates. It doesn't have to be that expensive, I guess. It's all IKEA furniture, anyways, so
Yeah.
it's super cheap.
internet connection in every
Built by
room.
those luxury
small
apartment developers.
Yeah.
Which is
Like put
meant
fake
for
granite
comfort.
countertops, call it luxury.
This is our specialty.
Frag, what's going on?
Divan. Yes.
When it opens in this fall, the brand new facility in Hämeenlinna is expected to be Europe's most high-tech women's prison. But just
Now notice, they gave it to the ladies. Even within a relatively monolithic culture, even they're still sexist. Like, yeah, we'll give it to the ladies. Fuck the guys. Prison.
Yeah, they had
across the
VR.
road,
Yeah, they did.
a
That's true.
reminder of the past. The old facility,
Maybe they
built
had
in
an uptick in
1972,
women
once
criminals.
housed both
Yeah.
men and women. It shut
Oh,
down
they
in
had them in the same
2019
place?
after
Wow.
Yeah, and like in like most jails, Dick, they're still separated, but they're in the same facility.
This has like Disney Channel camp movie vibes, where it's like the girls camp on one side of the lake and the
Dude,
boys camp on
right?
the other side of the lake.
Right?
The whole
For
movie's
years
there
of
just trying to
disrepair,
like
mold,
get to each other.
and other reasons.
This was before toilet.
And where did they empty it?
I take this,
No gloves.
put there. The smell was terrible.
And just a few minutes
I
drive
would just
away,
poop
a
straight
relic
into the
built
poop
in
hole.
the 19th century
Seems much more
and
comfortable.
modelled on the American
You got
style
access?
of prison that is still widely in use today. Cell blocks arranged in a radial floor plan.
Oh, they
This
have
is why they can
have
have
jump
these types of
nets.
prisons. Their criminals are not that bright.
Yeah, they have jump nets here. That's clever.
Prisoners
this a
living
factory in China?
solitary confinement. This one is a museum now.
I'll give media some points. Let's go. That's pretty good. I'll give you 5. That's 33. That's incredible.
Preserved to show just how hard prison life here used to be.
It's astronauts.
For Matty, the
Yeah.
road to reform has led him to a career that he would never have dreamed of before.
I mean, he's a prisoner for the rest of his life. What?
He connected with Reactor, a digital agency that designs online education courses. When they heard he was participating in this story, they invited him to give some feedback on the program.
He must have gotten down for the murder then.
He's a lifer.
And now he's an activist. How is he just, I don't know, or is this just like their conference area in the prison? That doesn't look like the prison.
No, this doesn't look like prison. This looks like he's in someone's office.
The work release?
I'm eager to hear, like, what did you think about the first course? What do you see? What was your general impression about it?
It was shown quite simply what is AI, what isn't AI. So that was really good, and kind of like show that it's not about magic.
Seeing him in this meeting, it's easy to forget that Matty is still serving out his sentence
that was the
for murder.
description of the course. That's not really what the course was
to
about.
complete a university degree and start a business.
You read the
One way
box.
to get
They lost me now. Like,
Yeah.
because here's my
I don't
beef.
know what this is about.
Like, my beef is, if he's well enough, right, to go and hang out in meetings with regular people outside of prison, the hell's he still doing in it? That's literally what, like, parole is for. Like, parole's like, I mean, you're still going to have some semblance of restricted rights, but, like, rather than just keep you here, we believe that you won't recidivate. We're going to let you out because we don't have to pay for you when you're out there, and you can earn income and get skills to go do stuff. Like, but he's not on parole. He's still in prison. This is like a weird happy, because he's never going to get out.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, like, what's the point? This is weird to me. Because, like, we have a solution for this in America. You're in life with the eligibility for parole at a certain amount of time, and then you don't spend any time in prison. What, like, you could be in for murder for life with the eligibility of parole at 30 years, and when you're an old bastard, you've been sitting there working out or whatever, you're like, well, his behavior's been good, he's gone to a lot of therapy, he's got an education, he worked on the skills. Sure, he seems like he's remorseful, everybody's good with it, a panel votes on it, and they let you out, and you got to check in with your parole officer, but that's it. Like, even on the front end, we have probation. You rob somebody, but as you're a first-time offender and you're young and stupid and you're surrounded by bad people, I will be willing to not sentence you to something if you're willing to do X, Y, Z. We have solutions on both ends of the fence for this. And these guys are just holding a dude indefinitely that they trust to go help. What the fuck? Anyway, sorry. They lost me here.
Employed is, of course, self-employment. So, and a lot of prisoners have already the entrepreneurial mindset.
Based on Matty's recommendations, Reactor is planning to add an entrepreneurship course to the prison curriculum.
It has like enforced my trust in also like this Finnish prison system, where like giving chances to put people like you, like it's awesome.
After the meeting, Matty heads back to Loka prison, but he is excited for the future.
At the beginning of my sentence,
There's got to be like 8 cops just behind the camera.
But, like, how cumbersome that is. Like, like, because now you got to have somebody that's there with him, and now you got to have, like, all this bullshit. Like, are there certain facilities that only meet the requirements for this? Like, how does any of this work? Like, hold on. Yeah, I'm gonna take some for society on this one. Like, this was such a cool idea, and then it completely lost me. I was like, no. Mostly because, like I said, it's either not fair to him, and that he really should be on some semblance, like he should be able to get an apartment and be trusted. Like, give him the leash if he's allowed to have
work
this.
I mean, if you're doing this, do a work release situation thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I wonder if he's got like an ankle monitor or something.
It still doesn't change.
Very weird.
You know what I mean? That still doesn't change that. I think it's either being unfair to him, or they're doing this purely for PR, and this is not at all what it looks like. Or he's like the exception, not the rule. I don't know.
Yeah.
Shit is wild. He did murder somebody who's still currently dead. And if you thought he needed to be in prison for the rest of his life because he's so unsafe, keep him in prison for the rest of his life. You've convinced the rest of the Finnish population this guy's safe. And that's wild to me. Oh no, this is about to piss me off. Oh no.
Here's your spicy chat.
A New York State trooper is hailed a hero as he's released from the hospital. He'd been shot in the leg in the line of duty. He was wheeled out of the hospital as his fellow trooper.
My knees are Stop! No! I thought it was safe.
It's great for this one.
They're
stopping bullets with their legs.
Emu said, "Shit is wild, Josh." 2024. I was gonna make the Sig P320 joke. I was like, "This guy got hit in the leg. That's a sussy place to get hit now."
First showed their support. It made national news. But now the story's been turned
rolling
on
him
its
to the
head.
stairs?
Did the
That's
27-year-old hero
rude.
trooper make it all up? Did he shoot himself? And if so, why? Trooper Thomas Messia claims he was shot on a highway on Long Island after he stopped to help a stranded
Should have
motorist.
just blamed Sig.
Shot fired, I'm hit.
Right?
He told investigators the shooter was a dark-skinned male. At a press conference,
Long live Key. Squirtle. Jeez. I thought that was Keithers. That's just his noise when he shows up.
there was relief that Messia would survive the attack.
Trooper Messia's desire was to help someone that appeared to need assistance. Unfortunately, Trooper Messia's good intentions were met with unexpected gunshots directed at him.
Now, state police have announced Messia has been suspended without pay. Cops also
not a
searched
good
his
look.
Long Island home Monday. The search reportedly turned up several guns, including an untraceable ghost gun and hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash. Police say Messia may have shot himself here and then drove a mile to the location where he called it in.
Bro. I'm gonna take some. Hey, play the song. Play the song, Juan.
All right.
State boys on the highway. They stopping everything.
Taking 20. I took 30.
What is it
actually.
with? Oh no, I guess the last guy that imagined an attack was a deputy.
That was a deputy. Dude, State Boys lost mad points on that. So that's this is New York, right? So
yes.
In New York, one of the most restrictive states for guns in particular, I'm pretty sure like 3D printed guns or 80% guns are illegal anyways. This guy to have that much cash on hand, and then all of the, and like, I have my strong feelings about the Second Amendment or whatever, but like, you're currently in a state where you're enforcing those laws onto other people. Like, you are the law there, so you've consented and agreed and took an oath that your administrators are doing the right thing. At the penalty of death of other people, you're going to enforce that law. Shoot yourself on accident and then go and fake it, which is like a huge, to the officers that have actually been shot or hurt in the line of duty, like, dog, big L. Big L. Your sickle's not going to pay out. Oh, Robert, you going to get me in trouble today? Leave Peanut out of this. Yeah, dude. The big L. I took 30. One for being unlawful and shady, and then the 20 was for just straight up making something up. I took 50 from the deputy that got in a shooting with the forest.
Yeah, but he
actually
fired
fired
other things as opposed to just himself.
He just kind of hit himself. So
like, at least if you hit yourself, it's self karma
exactly
to some extent. But also,
they said
you know how you would have found out he did that
Tens of
is
thousands,
wearing a body cam. Maybe check his dash cam. Instead of just believing the guy.
Yeah, I think too, like they likely saw like the point of entry probably didn't make any sense. Oftentimes too, when the muzzle's really close to you, you'll actually get a burn mark, like a scorch mark, where you don't get
Probably
that.
also had GSW like everywhere,
all over his hands and everything. Yeah, I was like, wait, hold on, hold up, wait a minute. But that whole time, he sat there and he let everybody believe old boy was a hero.
He was like, I'm a hero.
They probably also found out that the guy wasn't stopping anybody.
No, LARPing gunfight, Fafo was 50.
Yeah, it was 50. I took a lot for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's see what this is.
Was developed for transporting the shotgun. The shotgun barrel fits over a nylon peg attached to a spring-loaded bracket. The gun should be pushed forward against the springs,
family show.
and the butt end placed in the plate at the rear of the door. Please note that in the Mustang, the door must be open in order to retrieve the shotgun from its mounting bracket. At this time, no special provisions have been made for the H&K rifle, and storage is a matter of individual preference.
What H&K rifle would you be? We really only used MP5s in the States, so I don't know what kind of rifle he's talking about. Anyways, I have problems.
To check under the hood, pull the hood release handle under the instrument panel.
He missed.
The auxiliary catch is located
Yeah, you can
under
see that hideous ass. Stop.
Yeah, I was gonna. Yeah, there's a little this
the
light.
dome light. Yeah.
for the hood, just left of center.
Those are like one of the ugliest year models for Mustang.
The Mustang Special Pursuit Package its door was developed for transporting the shotgun.
Weird.
That's all we get.
You know
That's
what?
weird in it. I feel like that'll wear out pretty quick, and then your shotgun's just falling off all the time.
I'm gonna give 60. I'm gonna give 10 for administrators letting them do it, but I'm gonna take 5 for them wanting it. This is weird.
Also, what happens if you get T-boned?
Yeah, I mean the shotgun's toast. We used to think about that a lot with our rifles because they would sit like in a holder, kind of in the center of the. And you're like, dude, if you had a rollover, like you're probably bending the barrel and everything in that guy because it's aluminum, you know. I mean, it's cool that they tried something different, but I also think you could have like, if you don't have somebody in your passenger, it's a pursuit car. You're not going to take anybody into custody with it. Just get rid of your passenger seat. You know, and put something there. There's a small back seat, even in coupes.
I've seen too many cop cars getting stolen on this stream to have a shotgun that easily accessible.
Right. We'll see.
Down the freeway, this motorcyclist noticed a car with its gasoline tank fuel cap open. Knowing this could be dangerous, the motorcyclist speeds up, rides next to the car, and closes the fuel cap. However, as the motorcyclist speeds up to continue their journey, something unexpected happened. An undercover police officer was driving the car and turned on his sirens to signal the motorcyclist to pull over. The motorcyclist tried to explain the situation through gestures, but the police officer, confused, lowered his window. But despite the motorcyclist's explanation, the police officer continues to instruct the motorcyclist to pull over. The motorcyclist, however, was not expecting what was about to happen next.
Thank you very much. I was like, what kind of dangerous driving going on?
Yeah, I wasn't trying to like swerve off the road or something. I thought your cab could have been open and like was trying to pull up to make sure you were.
I appreciate you doing that.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
be very careful. Very, very dangerous. Okay?
Yeah, I got you.
While cruising down the freeway,
I'd have just high
Anyway,
fived.
you're under arrest for reckless driving.
I just want to see.
I'd like to thank you down at the station.
This looks like a deputy. I'm gonna take 10 for an unlawful stop. No PC.
Fair.
Taking 10, baby. Let's go. Bro, I'm punitive today. They got Lapete says, "What's your PC?" Yes. I'm here for it, dog. Never change. We having technical difficulties? Little Duck, what's happening?
Little Duck says he's on his phone. Little Duck says he can't find the button. What's he trying to do? Oh, Little Duck wants to know how to become a member on YouTube. Little Duck, you can only become a member from your computer because YouTube is mad at Apple because Apple will charge an extra 30% for doing it through the app because they have to use the App Store. Yeah. So they don't let you do it on their phone. You have to do it on a computer so that...
Dumb.
It's better because you're not paying an extra 30% to do the same thing.
Yeah, it's the if he has an iPhone, I guess that's the problem.
Oh wait, hang on. I forgot about this. Wait, where is that sound? Oh, is it Bill? What happened to my
What are
Bill
they
PC?
asking? What are they asking for? Oh, you don't have because you don't have PC.
Yeah. What happened to that?
That was a soundbite waiting to happen. Yeah, dog. Android users, baby. Let's go. Garnt, what's going on?
Somebody change its name.
Thank you, Garnt, for getting YouTube memberships out. My dog. Welcome to whomever's new. Suppose I'll do it tomorrow. He said, damn, I tried. Garnt goated.
Well, thank you, Garnt.
Yeah, this is my
Garnt did it for you, little duck.
This is a damn I tried. Is that not that's the motto of my life right there. Well, damn it, I
He
tried.
gifted it to everybody but little duck. Get Shrek'd.
Oh my god. Okay.
What are you doing?
Dang! Holy ISO.
Strobe.
Yeah, I was about to say I'm about to take points.
What are you doing?
This looks municipal. Yeah, that's municipal.
Yeah, that graffiti says municipal.
I'm going to say just -1 for.
Yeah, that's
being a
fair.
noob. This is probably a good arrest. This guy's also probably. You know what? While I'm at it, society for not minding their own business. There you go. We're taking souls here.
He's just trying to help light the way for the poor officers.
Yeah,
he seemed to be struggling to put handcuffs on. Couldn't see.
6-fisted apple. If only what's her name? If only Eve had done the same thing, life would be easier.
Somebody deleted it.
Oh,
I'm mad. Somebody wanted to
dang.
replace it with something else. Bet. Something dumb.
We
was
gangsters. Keith, R.I.P. Get rid of the strobe feature on your flashlight. If you're a police officer, there's pretty much zero reason to use it. And then if you're randomly videotaping something, do it, but do it in an unobtrusive way. You imagine going code in the 50s?
I think the 50s was about as fast as they could go. That's your PA, sir. Kidding.
You have priority. When it goes down, it's kind of it's rare that it happens, but every once in a while, like you're the epicenter of the shitstorm for the city, and it was cool. Maybe like the first 2 times it happened. After that, it got annoying. Like when I realized that I was the person with the short straw for the shift. But like we would have this if it was like a shooting in progress or something wild like that. That you get on the radio and be like, "I'm 97 on the scene. Go ahead and give me the channel." And dispatch would tone everything out and be like, "You have the channel." It was it could be cool, but it's also very stressful, but accurate.
So when they say suspect is armed, do they tell you what they're armed with if they know?
Oftentimes no, but sometimes yes, because a lot, like if it's like obscure, they have dark colored gun, they're probably just going to say armed. But oftentimes, if they're clever enough to ask or mention it, armed with a handgun or a shotgun or something like that will come out. But typically that doesn't make it to call text. Call take, sometimes it's the same person, but at least where I was at, it was a big enough department that call take and then dispatch were 2 different people. It was like a team of 2 different people. We had like 15 people working call take and like 8 people working dispatch. And so call take would listen to what they're saying and then type it out. All dispatch had access to was the actual call notes. So like this is literally Caller whispers it into call takes here. Call take types out what they hear to dispatch. Then dispatch has to now read it to me that I'm listening to while driving code over a siren. So like it's not the best way, but it's better than most. It's seems like a brave estimation, dude. For the time being, these are pretty rad shots. It's all done practically.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they had practice. You can look at old movies; they knew how to do this stuff. Yeah. We've lost the knowledge to do cool stuff like this. It's all CGI now.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially for being like a training film, this is
That's what I mean. This is really nice
stuff nowadays. This is when everybody had to. If you were the camera person, you had to know what the hell you were doing to even have a job.
Yeah.
Couldn't just go to Best Buy and buy one. Oh yeah, pit them. Bonnie and Clyde over here.
Oh man.
Oh. This is always my favorite. Do the static reaction shot.
Yeah.
Looks so out of place.
In
also,
1 minute,
this car it becomes like a
instant
stomped
death.
On soda can.
Yeah,
like
instant death. Yeah, dude. I'd be shocked if that car. I'd be shocked if either of those cars has seatbelts.
Shout out for the little dome light though.
Yeah. Oh, he's getting after it. They're so lucky to not be hurt.
Mm-hmm.
There's 1 mile. They're there in like 20 seconds. Like going as fast as they are.
Backed off due to dust.
Yeah, that's smart. Just follow the dust to find them, to be fair. This is exactly how it's done to this day, of just organizing your response to something. Pit.
They need their Air One, which is just like that Da Vinci helicopter machine with the pedals.
The fact that they stopped is wild. These guys just say, screw it, I'm not going back to jail. I tell you what, though, that 870 would be an attitude adjuster.
Mm-hmm. Bro, Crossfire.
Yeah, this is prior to anybody giving a shit about what Crossfire was.
Yeah.
This would have been a policy violation in a lot of ways for us to go and try to block a car like this, like for a traditional roadblock. It poses way too great a risk to the officer and the equipment, to be fair.
Also, did they actually even block him in? Because he could have just kept going to the left, couldn't he?
Maybe. These cars are pretty big. They probably did. They would have had to like tag a car to get by it or whatever.
Because like where they are is a dead end, but is the dead end on the left?
Yeah, this is Holy Crossfire now.
Yeah.
There's Big Sarge. This is wild. Compliance? Wild. We're in Fantasyland now, boys.
And it's a couple of IT guys. Jehovah's Witnesses. They're just trying to get to the next door over, which is like 5 miles down the road.
It's some boys from a Mormon church, and what is it called? You know, they have like their mission that they have to do or whatever at 18.
Here one is the Wright brothers playing. They made it about 100 yards and said they lost sight.
That's pretty good. I'll give Chad some points for that. The Wright brothers. Chad.
So accurate.
Chad's
little Kitty Hawk.
Bro, you guys made it to 100.
Kitty Hawk won?
Kitty Hawk won.
It couldn't be any other number. They didn't have any other one.
This kind of looks like Deputaz.
Then how'd they get so many of them there at once?
Yeah. This might be PD, actually.
Bank robbery.
I think this is PD, actually. The shield makes me believe it's PD. As that, and also the amount of units that answered makes me believe it. You know, we're gonna give this to PD. Let's go.
Also, the black and white coloring of the car.
I'm gonna say -5. At least we're getting some points back, boys. Media, I'm gonna give them 10 for this. This was very good given the time. This is better filmed than most of the recruiting videos we watch.
No kidding, dude.
And they get access to drones and image stabilization and After Effects. You know, come on now.
They're doing that with cameras that are like this freaking
Dragnet. Oh my god! Really, truly, like they're like small vehicles basically at that point.
Hey guys, if you're a state trooper here in Texas and you got a bike, you like don't mess around. They're motorcycle cops, if you will, or state troopers, have AR-15s and our radar gun mounted. Like, look.
Yeah, our motors guys had SBRs in a very similar configuration.
Don't mess with Texas.
They got better aim with their radar gun.
And he got his partner here. Let's see if his partner has one as well. Yeah, look. He's got a portable printer in there too, bro. Buddy, don't mess with Texas.
He's got a portable printer in there too.
Mega
Not
based.
mess with Texas. Any state trooper, let me tell you. Man, I've never seen that before. Hey guys, if you're
State boys on the highway. They stopping everything.
These look like modified Daniel Defense Mark 18s is kind of what this looks like, but they're state boys. I'm only gonna give them 5 for at least not being rude and not writing anybody a ticket. I'm gonna take some points from media on this one. I'm gonna take 3. It just seemed very unnecessary. Cops have guns. Oh no. What's new, Scooby-Doo?
I do think it's interesting how they have it on like the back of the bike, like they have the whole little holster thingy.
Well, and for them,
better
they
than that
don't
Mustang we saw.
Yeah, they don't just have a clamp, like a holder for the front. They also have like pinned it, so it can't be pulled out. That basically the pistol grip is shoving it down. That's more secure than what we had in the patrol car, honestly.
What's Rocky?
What's your problem?
Attitude adjusted.
What's Rocky?
What's your problem?
There's Borussia Dortmund
Attitude adjusted. This is definitely local PD. I'm gonna give it to municipals there. We're at 0. Look at us.
Dortmund.
I'm gonna take some points for society for arguing over sports. So much that you're in a public forum and just can't handle sports disagreements. But outside of that, neither here nor there. What is going on here?
You park here. Because that sign says fine for parking. Ma'am, why did you park here? Because that sign says fine for parking.
She's right.
If it doesn't give a dollar amount, you know what? I'll give him points to suspects for that. That's pretty. That's pretty good. I'll give him some points back for that. This looks like probably a city cop. I'm gonna take 1 for getting dunked on. She had a brilliant rebuttal for that. That's
This is why you don't ask the question. You just say, "This is why I'm stopping you."
However, I will take some points for society. I'm only going to take 2. Or that's 3 technically, but that's fine. No regrets. Where the cops are strong and the arms are long, deep in the heart of Texas. That's incredible. The cops are strong, the arms are long.
That almost looks like an SRO with the extra radio on the lapel.
Hold on, I'm looking.
Is that a thing SROs had?
Probably. I was never an SRO.
That would make sense because if it's an SRO and they're like, that's like a senior in high school or something.
Oh.
And like, why'd you park on the fire lane or whatever?
Oh, makes more sense. Regrets. Those who say BJJ doesn't work in the streets. So Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guys are just as bad as gun people in the sense that, yes, it can work. And yes, I do believe at a baseline, you are probably more prepared for conflict. But in general, if you're finding yourself in situations where you need said BJJ skills or said gun, you've already played yourself. Like, also, like, I don't know. Try that in Houston is always my joke.
So he's on the bottom, okay? Yeah. And he's doing a great job controlling the wrist. And he's not taking any punishment.
Out of just sheer need for accuracy, it's in fighting in general. It's very rare you ever try to control the wrist. There's so much more going on the arm that the wrist is maybe a little less important. You can pin a wrist, or chalk it maybe so it doesn't go anywhere, but like typically you don't control the wrist.
And if you see, he hits the most jiu-jitsu move that you could hit with an omoplata to reverse the situation and get on top. So say again that jiu-jitsu doesn't work on the streets, my friend. Congrats to this cop.
You know,
so he's on the bottom.
I should point this out.
Okay, and he's doing a great job controlling the wrist.
So right here, you know what defeats said omoplata or whatever it is? A knife. Or a gun that could totally be present. It's very useful in unarmed combat. The problem is the implementation of arms. Ironically, and I think the people that actually take this stuff seriously, it's always a blend. They'll take footwork from like boxing and just keeping space. Like, I don't want to lock up with this person, so I'm going to back off. Right? A boxer will less likely get stabbed than somebody doing BJJ, right? They'll do like Greco wrestling, which was specifically designed to fight dudes with knives. It was like implicitly designed that, hey, when the lines clash and you're locked up with people, how do you avoid getting stabbed by a short sword? Like, there's a wrestling, just traditional wrestling, which has been around for way longer than Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I would argue you have a lot of guys that have a very strong foundation in wrestling that would crush on a lot of that stuff. All of that also requires that someone's in a reasonable weight class with you, right? Well, after you get to a certain size disparity, it doesn't matter. This officer's almost double the size of the guy he's fighting right now, and somehow he magically ended up on his back, which could be problematic, especially if another person gets involved and starts soccer kicking you in the face. Though, yes, shout out to him for doing the cute Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu thing as a big fail for ending up by yourself with a suspect in a city. This is a city. This also looks like a city cop. It probably should have never escalated to that. I'm going to take...
also, another martial art you can train is verbal judo, so you don't end up in as many fights. You limit the amount of fights that you fight.
What is that going to put me at? I'm going to take 5 from society for suggesting it, and I'm just going to zero out municipals.
Take 3 from media, because they get 2 for the good narration, but minus 5 for the fact that
and
he can't
he's not
keep
taking any punishment.
Did in frame?
And if you see, he hits the most
Bro, you were pointing at it, why are you
that
moving
you
your
could
phone?
hit with an omoplata.
Yeah, that's true. Do better. We're asking old people for stuff. We ask enough at old people.
Enforcement is embracing the power of experience. The CHP is searching for volunteers in their golden years with the heart for community service. KCAL's Joy Benedict introduces us to a few volunteers, proving age is just a number.
This is Chris the cop.
Good morning.
It's a race
Literally. Katie, thank you for the super chat.
to class for students and parents at this elementary school in West Hills.
There's times where I come and there's no cars, and then there's times where I come and it's like this. It's hectic. It's a zoo.
JP Perez walks his 8-year-old every day, but with countless cars, crosswalks, and tiny feet, he can't.
Think BJJ cop pulled guard when he got on scene. 1,000%. He gets there, gets his funny hands, sat right on his butt, and scooted towards the guy the whole time like an idiot. Goodness gracious. Because like what upsets me about that is like, and again, in the streets, especially in like dangerous streets, dude pulls out a machete and you try to pull guard, like you're taking your calf. Like, you know what I mean? Like, again, very, very good foundational skills for empty hand control, but like still very suboptimal to do the boot scoot while you're about to get your ass beat.
Also, the dude could have just started running at that point, probably. If he wasn't invested in just beating on you.
Could have easily disengaged and ran. Yeah. Dumb.
Help but worry about safety.
We tried to
Well, at least he controlled his
get
wrist.
the traffic flowing.
Yeah, at least he had his
properly.
wrist.
Which is where Alan Schur and Paul Kane ride in.
Our presence, just presence in the black and white CHP car, gets people to pay a little bit more attention to the rules and regulations of the highway.
They are senior volunteers
Shout out
with the
to that road mic.
CHP, 2 of 20 in the West Valley alone.
So my
standardized police equipment.
Hey, the road mic.
Yeah, well, he's got it clipped to his tie.
My only beef with this is when you have a fully marked vehicle, people expect fully marked response, right? I'm you with your stupid dead cat and everything on it.
Too.
Yeah.
I have the clippy. It's like fuzzy.
I don't like the idea of putting. And now you could have like if they're reserve police officers, I get it. Like that's fine. Like they still have all of the powers available and afforded to police officers, right? So they can do police stuff. But like, what happens if a fight breaks out? Well, PD's on scene already. Like legitimately, PD's on scene. Like, why do I have to send anybody else? You might even have people that don't call 911 because they think, well, the cops are already here. When it's like 2 geriatric old dudes, they're like, you know, that's my only beef with this. I have no issue. We actually had citizens on patrol cars that specifically said in very big bold letters, "Citizens on patrol." That tiny little like Arlington Police Department.
I saw them several times while working Pumpkin Nights.
Just putting around, right?
Yeah.
And so people know to not expect PD response. This is not PD response. This is just people running around. And they had a radio. Every once in a while, they would find things they didn't need to be finding, and it was more work than it was worth. But I'm all for a community buy-in, so I'm not going to dock them for it. But I'm going to take some points from administrators for allowing that. You have to resort to this because you have low manpower. Because I mean that's a marked unit that could be used for anything else. They should have their own little unit, or like have like a little magnet, like what they do for pizzas and shit. They're just like, hey, citizens on patrol or whatever.
Get him one of those stop things from Michigan.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Indiana State Police.
More state boys.
Oh, where's my mouse?
Do it. This is 30 minutes long. I'm skimming through this.
State boys on the highway. They stopping everything.
That's funny with the old school looking stuff here. Dusting for prints hasn't changed in 50 years. It's probably longer.
Information officer for the Indianapolis Post. For this edition, we're going to take you on patrol with the Indiana State Police at the Bloomington Post. The Bloomington Post is comprised of 5
has
counties,
actual broadcasting
Monroe, Brown,
training.
Lawrence, Greene, and Owens counties. You'll be meeting with and riding with Trooper Charles Sorrells.
Because he's reading off a teleprompter. And like he's got like pretty nice posture. This is the actual broadcast. Bro, my guy.
Who will
Well, and like you can see his eye movements very slight.
Yeah.
To keep up with the unlike most people, which are like.
Well, that's a poorly set up teleprompter.
You'd
too.
fail.
You're drunk.
Read a teleprompter.
Primarily take you on patrol in the Lawrence County area.
You're drunk.
Buckle up.
To be fair,
Do you pay vacations and holidays?
Wowie wow. $30K a year, dog. In the 90s, that was probably pretty good money. But
I mean, in the 90s, you could buy a house.
Yeah. Oh. Are we lost? Hold on. Let me make sure everything's good. Hold on. Checking Stram. Maybe. Are we still good? Are we still up? I think we are. Let me play this for a second.
But most importantly, you'll have the peace of mind knowing you're serving and protecting.
Yeah, I think I just lost Juan. Oh, or Discord. I think it's Discord. Oh,
there it is.
We're back.
It's back. Okay.
Hold on.
That was weird.
It was Discord being weird.
Yeah.
Stand by. Stand by, friends and family. Whole thing's weird. Oh, I clicked on it. Oh no. What have I done? Okay. I think we're back.
Yeah, like the stream is fine. The cameras are weird.
Oh, this thing totally broke. Stand by, Stram. This whole thing is debroke-ed. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna pop out of. It shouldn't change anything, but I'm gonna.
Who says Discord has?
Oh, we're coming back. We're coming back. Maybe. Maybe.
Oh, don't go.
Maybe. I'm trying not to click anything. Hopefully they can still hear me. I'm a little nervous to click out of anything.
Protecting our great state and its citizens. Call 1-800.
I'm back. I don't know that Juan's back, but at least I'm back. I think we are back. Maybe. Let me know. Okay. We are indeed back. You guys can hear me. Okay. We'll wait to see if Juan makes it back or not, or if it's just Discord being weird.
622-4995 for more information. Be a part of the best of the best. Be a part of the Indiana State Police.
We're going to be working in the Lawrence and Monroe County areas this evening on a 3 to 11:30 shift, and we're going to try and show you some things other than just a typical traffic day or a typical day. We're going to look at some genuine concerns that we have here in these two counties. We have a lot of quarries in our counties. This is a very hot day. It's about 85 degrees right now, still yet in the late afternoon, early evening hours. And we're going to go to some quarries where we've had a drowning last year and some different things to see if we can alleviate some problems that may continue out through the summer by trying to get some initial enforcement in there and just make a good contact with the people and try and get them on their way and advise them maybe to inform their friends, family members, and other people that they associate with not to come into the quarries this summer.
Okay, I can hear you again. Yeah, I could see the video and I could hear the video. I couldn't hear you or see.
Oh, God. Everything's broken. Hold on. I will continue to play.
So we don't have any more of those problems that we had to deal with last summer. We're also going to be looking at the, we continue to have a meth concern in Lawrence County, and we're going to look at some few issues there and try and find some information or show you some ways that we come up with information on dealing with our methadone problem down here. So we're looking forward to looking at what we have going down here in the county.
Stand by.
And, you know, let's get
I'm going to restart
ahead of us.
Not OBS,
we're
but
in
the
southern Monroe County, just south of Bloomington.
Discord, like
where there's a lot of quarries.
I'm having a task manager out there.
Remote areas where people like to come and drink, underage, and kids like to hang out. And what we're doing is we're coming in here to see if we can find some people back in these quarries that are not supposed to be. These are different popular places for these people to hang out. And we're going to look at some of these cars here and then swing back around this other way here. There's a car here from Ohio, which
they can hear us, but they can't see us.
Okay, hold on.
Some college students down in here. Everything else is local plates. We'll go right down the road here to an access road and see what we can come up with here real quick. We're gonna go back in there. Nobody's supposed to be in these quarries. They're in there trespassing and swimming. And a lot of the time we're finding students and high school kids back here that are underage, and they tend to drink a little bit while they're back there. And just last year we had a fatal accident where a guy was drunk and jumped off one of the higher cliffs and drowned subsequent to his jump. This business here used to let him park and walk back there for $5. Doesn't look like there's anybody else further back in here. We'll go back and park by those cars and walk back in there and see if we can find anybody back in there. This is a continuing problem for us down in this area. Go right down here. See this guy walking up here? How you doing? How you doing? What are you doing?
I was swimming.
Where do you live at?
In Ellettsville.
In Ellettsville? Where you parked at?
Up here.
Okay. Do you want to pay a tow-in fee on your vehicle?
What do you mean?
Well, you're not supposed to be parking there. The church has got that clearly marked that you're not supposed to be parking in there. Do you have your ID on you?
No.
What's your name?
Seth Patterson.
How old are you?
18.
Okay. Hi. How are you today? Cool now, huh?
We're out.
You have your ID on you?
No, I don't. I must have.
What'd you set down over there when you came over the hill? You bent over and set something down, it looked like?
I got up on a rock and sat down.
Okay. How many people are back there?
A few.
How many's a few?
About 10. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I don't have it.
You don't have your ID on you? You guys been smoking or drinking or anything today?
No.
Can I see your jug?
Yeah.
You have anything in your cigarette package you're not supposed to have?
No.
What's that one upside down for?
Lucky cigarette.
That's your good luck one, huh?
Yeah.
Well, guys, it's early in the summer, okay? Yeah. And if you come back, your vehicles are going to be towed, okay? I just talked to the people at the church.
This is the first time I've ever been here.
Yeah, it'll be a good time to quit coming then, okay?
Are you not allowed back
Pass
there,
the friend.
period?
None whatsoever, okay?
Yeah.
Pass the word. You from Ellettsville too?
Yeah.
Okay, pass the word because we don't have to be out here all summer doing this, okay?
Yeah,
If you guys will help us out that way, then we won't all have to be out here running around like this, okay?
All right.
Is that a problem?
No.
Okay, we'll let you go this time.
Okay.
Take care.
Later.
I think you guys can still hear my desktop audio. Negative 25 for media. Wait, can y'all still legitimately hear me? I can hear that sigh. Oh, well, good. Oh, well, I guess I can talk to y'all. That makes life easier. He said blow your nose, man. Josh, cough twice if you're in danger. I guess everyone can hear me. I guess I gotta do it this way. It's weird that y'all... Oh, I guess it's because it's on my desktop audio. Y'all can still... I wonder if I can pull up like a video feed. Hold on. Stand by. Add... video... Hold on. I'm gonna see if I can add my face again just for y'all. So y'all can see me here. Video capture device. Okay. Because Discord is struggling. There we go. Nope. Maybe. There it is. Hit OK. This is the stream now. Oh. I'm breaking things. There we go. Ha! Fixed it. There we go. Problem solved. Josh ASMR. Okay. I have fixed it for the most part. Unfortunately, I don't think Juan can join me this way. Kicked me out for being too funny. No. So I think we're gonna figure out how to fix the thing. I guess we'll see, but I'm going to go ahead and add, I'll give you guys +5 more here. Sorry, producer Juan. At least the stream can continue in the way that it is, but I'll have to solo it. That last one, I'm going to take some points from State Boys. You guys can't hurt me now with the soundboard. Soundboard also doesn't exist because Discord doesn't exist. I'm going to take 5. Towards better internet. That's what's annoying is it's not. If it was an internet issue, you probably wouldn't be able to reach me here. We might try Skype. Either way, we'll see. We'll figure it out. I only have a couple more videos left, and then we'll see if Discord ever decides to show up here in a little bit. Feeling official depression. Make the sound. State boys in the highway, stopping everything because the cops don't play. That was a good pit. That's a lot of kids. Disrupt planned street takeover. Yes. This guy's being an absolute menace. That car's trashed. Cause the cops don't play. Maybe don't pit into the gas station. There's a charger on charger crime right here. My dog. I'm gonna give State Boys in the highway. I'm gonna give him +10 for officer presence here. That's pretty good. Pits don't quit. Poop the car. It did give it a very romantic poop. It was pretty cool. And it's a Charger. I will go ahead and give him some points for that. Mommy and Daddy will buy them a new one, probably. Let's be honest. Garnt, we're not pitting kids. Nailed the 720. Super Boops. It is indeed Super Boops. It takes a Mopar to catch a Mopar. No, I highly doubt that. Yeah, we'll see. I'm assuming that's Daddy as well. What is this? 19-year-old and in the military. Let's lower our expectations here.
Such a long day at work. No, you're not 21. Can I buy some cigarettes? You're still not 21, stupid. What about having that? I want a pet. Can I have a pet? No, we don't trust you. A goldfish? That's a pet, stupid. What about a hot plate? That's way too dangerous for you. Okay, I'm going on leave next month. Can I at least get a rental? Too young and irresponsible for that. What? Hey, Lance Connor, you ready for that range on Monday? We're shooting the 240s and 249 machine guns. We might break out the 50 cal and the 40 Mike. After that, you're going to the 7-ton course, get certified to be able to drive those things on the road and off-road with civilian vehicles, along with the Humvee. We're going to need you for that range. Speaking of the range, congrats on the promotion. You're going to be put as a squad leader, so you'll be in charge of, a bunch of Marines to work up for that combat deployment next month, where you'll be literally in charge of their lives and all the equipment that we trust you with. So I can't buy a drink or tobacco, have a pet, make my own food, or rent a car. But you'll let me drive a 7-ton that's technically rented from the military, shoot machine guns, and be in charge of multiple Marines' lives while also being shot at in a foreign country. I need a drink.
I wonder how frequent, military guys, let me know, how frequent is it that a 19-year-old, because in that, I guess if you got like a waiver, you could join at 17. I don't know if they let people join at 16 anymore, even with like a waiver or something like that. But I guess if you joined at 17 on a waiver, you might be in for 2 years. So you passed basic, right? You went to whatever your MOS is. Would you be like a squad leader, or would you be like in any type of leadership position at 19? How reasonable is that? Somebody tell me. I need to know. 37-year-old E5 still not trusted to act like an adult. I buy that. Yeah, I will say this. I think in general, like, the fact that they let kids do the military, because what sucks is oftentimes like they're put in financial situations that they're probably not ready for. They're allowed to engage in a lot of adult stuff, and suffer adult consequences for it. And then not to mention, yeah, dude, like there are things they will let you do in the military that they will not let you do outside of it in general. And then not to mention they give them the age difference there. 11 Bravo, do that shit all the time. I could see that. That's wild. Just got a bunch of teens out there. That's crazy. But I think engaged in adultery. Husband, motor T operation, drive 7 tons as part. So annoying. Can't rent cars. That's wild. Can't rent a car, but could take out $100 in student. That's also true. I take that back too. I guess you're right. Same thing, I guess, would happen with college students. Canada, 100%. At 17, you don't need any waivers to enlist. That's wild. I think this is kind of shitty, but the military as a whole, you kind of need younger bodies. Specifically, like young men, you're just built different at 18 than even what you're going to be at like 25 or 28. And so I think and 11 Bravo is a good example of this, where like you're getting poo-pooed on physically between the rucks and the marching and all that stuff. And even in people with logistics, like, sure, you have all this mechanized equipment, but they don't always probably give you the tools to fix it correctly or safely or whatever. And so they're probably asking you to make stuff stretch. And longer hours and all that stuff is easier to ask out of an 18-year-old than it would ever be. Once you get into your 30s, you're just not as resilient, if you want to call it that. The physical washout rate and injury rate gets a lot higher as you get older. That's shitty. That's extra shitty. Let's take, you know what? We're going to take some points from we're going to say society for doing that. We're going to take 10 from society for letting kids get hurt. And these are kids still, get hurt for the country, but not give them rights. Should at least have like a military waiver. I just learned the military poo-poo on you. They do, indeed. Don't recommend anyone join the military. All they teach Marines how to do is be homeless. I buy that. What's your favorite color in crayon and how to be homeless? Dude, no kidding. The young ones are needed. Who else will pass PT? Only living off of alcohol and energy drinks. I buy that. How much they teach you how to sleep outside. Oh, I guess you're right. Yeah, I guess you literally perfect for homelessness. You mean stripping strippers? Shout out, bro. Happy Veterans Day. After the fact, for all of you guys that had to go and sit there and serve the government only to realize the government sucks. Burnt sienna tastes like cinnamon. Getting dumb is also old. Okay, what is it? What are they saying here?
Police squad's so secretive, few know about it. Tonight, we've been granted special access to see who they target and why.
Lifting the lid on one of our best-kept secrets.
This has been hidden away for some time.
Television cameras have never been allowed inside this highly secretive world until now.
There is nothing beyond this team.
In Australia. There is nothing beyond this team. Yeah, there's definitely something beyond this team in the world, but in Australia, shout out to them. These guys all look like they're in pretty decent shape.
This is Australia's most elite police squad, and you've probably never heard of them.
Hold the phone. This is kind of weird. So these are like for ATAC things. It's like a little phone basically that you keep on your chest. But they have like the nice ones that you buy from like Theorem or a company like that, or you get the ones off of like Temu or Amazon, and that's precisely what they're running here. I mean, I'm sure it works, and shout out to the government saving money, but this is a weird deal here.
Yeah, and that's how we like it.
We're brought to an undisclosed location where the Australian Federal Police Tactical Response Team is about to breach a building. A stun grenade's thrown inside.
It was thrown outside. It's probably to protect their hearing, but that was a weird way of doing it.
As these operators, as they're known, search for a fugitive. This isn't a real emergency, but it's almost impossible to know the difference. From terror attacks to hostage situations here and abroad, this elite team can be called in at a moment's notice. At their high-tech training facility, there's a fake street, a kindergarten, police station, even a bus. Right now, we're inside the village's town hall, and upstairs, a gunman has taken people hostage. Outside, police are on their way in an armoured Bearcat.
We had Bearcats. These things were a
They're
blast.
about to smash their way inside.
Echo Sierra said no budget for Millhouse. Pretend with logs on the ground. That's the most military thing I've ever seen. Squirtle, jeez.
Even though it's a training exercise, it's a little confronting to be so close.
Oh, Toyotas. They got Hiluxes.
In another exercise, an unruly crowd has become a major threat.
This is actually precisely how they teach it. I've seen in the wild, I guess the last time I saw something like this was probably like 2019, maybe 2018. Where you approach with a ballistic. This isn't a ballistic shield, but if you have a ballistic shield and you'll like kind of chain gang it behind him. I've seen this before.
Officers fire tear gas and beanbag rounds before advancing on their target. As the team on the left of screen uses a chainsaw to access the building, watch as the operators on the right set up an explosive strip. The threats taken out. From scaling apartment buildings to volatile sea intercepts and hunting down our most wanted, the tactical response team also captured suspects netted by Operation Ironside and the Anom app.
We were able to secure a number of locations back to back, not only make it safe for our members but also for the suspects that we're going after.
We can't show you this operator's face for security reasons.
No job is ever the same, and we don't know when they're coming.
And they've got to get it right, because in this game, there's no second chance.
Someone might be at risk of serious injury or death.
This footage taken on their assignments was previously marked classified. Among the 135 operations they deployed to last year, a top secret mission to escort fugitive bikie boss Mark Buddle to Melbourne. The accused drug kingpin had been living overseas, wanted for his alleged role in a $40 million cocaine import. In December, it was accused Islamic State fighter Nil Prakash deported from Turkey to Melbourne. The team also spent 8 months in the Solomon Islands after violent riots left Honiara in ruins.
In support of our Royal Solomon Islands Police Force colleagues, we sent the tactical team in to help them restore order.
These guys are dripped out, I tell you what.
Getting into the elite squad is a mission in itself.
We set them up fully with a human performance coach who tracks their progress through an app. They have access to dietitians, they have access to physiotherapists, they have access to psychologists.
Superintendent Philippa Connell says it's a 14-month selection and training process.
Dang.
Recruits are put through their paces, from abseiling upside down while doing push-ups.
These would not be hard push-ups. I mean, I'm here for the exercise, but it's like a weird thing to practice doing. Because the whole purpose of a push-up is you're doing it against gravity with your whole body weight versus your body weight suspended. This is weird.
Scouring the bush with heavy loads.
1, 2, 3.
Rescuing dummies and packing their mission bags.
8.
That's
9,
legit.
10.
To get them up to a point, like an elite sports team in a pre-season, before they hit selection, and when they hit selection, that's like the first game of the season. So they're at their utter peak. There is
That's
nothing
smart,
beyond this team. So if this team isn't ready to go, this team isn't at its best, at its first game of the season.
This guy C-clamped this like a Chad.
Peak. There is nothing beyond
This guy was
team.
Born for it. Like, you're so C-clamped, your elbow's over the gun, you're maybe doing a bit too much.
So if this
he is at a low ready, which is like, it's a very soft low ready. Because obviously you can see like he's out of the stock, like the stock's not in his shoulder, but he's doing that to probably see a little bit better, and then he levels the gun out, probably dips the elbow a bit, gets the rifle stock actually in his pocket here, and then can do some shooty shoots. But
team isn't ready to go. This team isn't at its best, at its peak, 24/7, 7 days a week. There is nothing more than this. So it's incredibly important that we support and we deliver the best capability we can to keep Australians safe.
Everything here looked pretty good. We have like tactical games, basically. They're not the tactical games, but they have like SWAT games. TTPOA does it here in Texas, where guys that operate operationally like these guys do actually compete. Normally in American SWAT teams like this, even at the federal level, it's self-selected. We have a lot of motivated people, whether they're coming out of the military or whether they're just in law enforcement and take a big interest in this. They only typically have selection. You have like SWAT tryouts or like a tactical team tryout. You don't really get recruited for it. I'm sure you do in some places, but in general, like they keep the standards so high that you either meet the standard or you don't, and then a lot of whether or not you get selected on the team is based on like reputation. But I mean, shout out to them. Australia has a much smaller pool of law enforcement, just the population. For as big as the landmass is, the population is relatively small. And so you just don't have as much to do with. But, I mean, they seem pretty well funded for being, like, their top SWAT team. Australia's been pretty active in, like, foreign military engagements. So I do believe they have good warfighters in that country. And so if you're recruiting from those ranks and you're recruiting from guys that are out there doing good work, I bet that's going to be squared away than most of your deputy SWAT teams that are happening out in the boonies out there where there's just no one to be part of it, right? Versus you'll look at like Dallas SWAT, LAPD SWAT, NYPD SWAT. You're pulling from thousands of officers, of which hundreds of them stay in very good shape, shoot very often, train very often, and then they get to kind of pick the cream of the crop. And even from there, like our full-time SWAT teams, we had about, I think 50 people that were on part-time SWAT, and then only about 20 to 15 that were full-time SWAT officers at my department, and that's all they did was SWAT. But they got to be pretty selective for the most part about who would make that team and get allocated those extra resources. They lost to emus. Not Canada. That was Australia, I think. That's funny. I'll give those are feds. I'll give Fed 5 points for at least having a SWAT team. Oh, and you know what? To their administrators, I will give them some points here. Administrators, admin. I'll give them 5 points for providing them with all the assets they need. Just one emu. Let's see. Virtual patrol? What is this? Wausau Police. A lot of snow. I'm here from the south. I'm not used to snow. I'm personally not a fan of these like open cuffs like this, mostly because you could be dispossessed of these. For patrol equipment in general, I'm more of a fan of keeping all of my stuff retained and as least visible as I could make it. Though if you're like, this guy's pretty slight in build, you don't really have a lot of space on your belt or on your vest, so this might be the only place he has for him, but at least he's got two. And a very well-used streamlight. Shout out to him.
Everything hurts. Don't get old, kids. Really sugary right here.
Make this music stop. Agreed.
Hello. Yeah, he's filming me.
Okay.
All right, so I'm Officer Austin. What happened?
So I kind of got to sliding and I ran into him a
Okay.
little bit.
Where were you guys then?
We were right at this.
That was a struggle. About how fast do you think you were going? Just slid into me.
It's a regular collision report. Both vehicles are drivable in the state of Texas. This is a CR2 form, not a CR3. And that you self-report to your insurance companies. You will not get a police report often out of a police officer. Nor would I issue a causative factor citation because, like, that's what you pay for insurance for, not me. I leave Texas alone. I know better. You should.
Simple slide-in crash because of the sloppy roads. No injuries. Just gotta do the paperwork. The epitome of policing is hurry up and wait, and
that's true.
10 minutes of paperwork for 2 minutes of actual work. That is what we do. All right, there's those back for you. So this is the crash card, so you'll give this to your insurance and ask for insurance. And if you
oh, nice. You're not gonna stop the car?
194 Sheriff.
This is Deputas.
Can you create a traffic hazard? 5th and Stewart. Somebody lost in mass stress. Hello. It's okay.
If you had it strapped, it wouldn't have fallen off. Citation for unsecured load. I'd 100% blade them for this.
I forgot to put it on.
I could have hurt somebody.
Okay, you guys got it?
Sorry.
Thank you. I'm so sorry.
I'm glad you were behind us.
Yeah.
Glad you were.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you've got a strap.
Oh, there we go. Excellent. Yeah, I was gonna say that'd be a little beneficial.
It will be.
To have some kind of
sorry.
some kind of strap.
I didn't think because of the weight that it would.
Yeah.
We'd need it.
It was not strapped down. Unsecured load.
Wind caught it just right though.
Write the citation. It's a good strap too. This shouldn't have come off.
There we go. All right, you guys are good to go. Thank you very much. Thank you guys.
$10 says they didn't. Mac Daddy. Hold on. We're going to look back. Hold on. Let's see. 1000% was not a strap on that. Is you don't see like a strap coming off or anything. Yeah. No strap. Dumb. Anyways, citation. Unsecured load all day long. I would write that. Unless they were like helping the poor or something like that. No.
Hi.
Strap it down and let
See
him
if
go.
he is staying here? Yeah. Which room is he in?
He is. Let me see.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Yep.
3159.
Y'all need to chill.
In room 105.
Chat.
No worries. Hello.
Yes, sir.
I'm Officer Austin with Wasp Police. So we got a call from somebody just concerned about you, I guess.
Welfare check.
Drinking and just not caring for yourself. Just trying to figure out what's going on.
Really?
Yep. Yeah, I legit could not tell you who called. It's refused. So, I mean, I'm just here to make sure everything's okay. And
Oh, no, I do drink a lot.
okay.
I do drink
When's the
a
last
lot.
time you had anything to drink?
Just now.
Just now? Okay.
Am I under arrest for
Nope.
drinking beer?
Nope. Nope.
I'm not suicidal.
This is a welfare check. That's all it is.
Oh, well, I'm fine.
Okay.
So how does this wellness check thing go out?
So somebody called saying, hey, concerned about, think he's been drinking pretty heavily recently, not caring for himself. They didn't want to leave their name, so I come over, I make sure
One
you're
sovereign
okay, just
citizen
kind of
away
see
from
what's
saying
going on.
screw it.
Oh.
If it's something of concern, you ever felt suicidal in the past?
I'm just bored. Drove up here, and I mean,
Yeah.
they don't need to worry about me. I'm not gonna go in there and drink until I'll probably go in there.
Thanks. I saw you called us about a gentleman that was in the woods and had a campfire going or something.
We've got an event going on at the curling club this weekend, and a couple of city workers stopped in. I wasn't at the club, but they stopped in and told one of our members that they were driving by and saw a person and a person's camp with a fire in the woods just north of the curling center.
Did they say how far north?
Well, I could see it from the road, apparently.
Did you witness it personally?
I did not. I live in Merrill, so I just got the phone call and
Am I off base for taking points away here? Yeah, I'm gonna take points. Whatever. Mind your business. This is dumb. That's the biggest Karen call I've ever heard.
haven't been down there to look at it. As I say, they just stopped in and said,
I hate this town already.
camp on your property.
Okay.
Can I take more
And then
points
they did
away
say
for that?
they
I only took
saw
2. If I
what
need to
looked
take
like
more,
a-
let me know.
A walking trail from the camp to our dumpster.
Okay, well, I appreciate your help. Yeah, I drove past down curling and I didn't see any flames or anything, but I'll maybe locate the dumpster and then follow the foot tracks to see if we can't find them that way. Alrighty, well, thank you much. I appreciate it.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, I guess we can do a little bit of walking if you're good with that.
Negative turn for curling. I'll do it for frag. Society. Losing points, baby.
I'm going to be on foot behind the west side of the curling club trying to locate this fire.
What are we doing?
I wonder if they were mistaking those deer tracks as
Yeah, I'm
flags,
soloing
but
it
there's some
because
right
of
here,
Discord.
Which this also is not north.
Squirtle.
You don't even have your winter boots on.
Your boots?
See, now don't you feel like one of those wildlife photographers that they camp in the snow for like 2 weeks just to get a picture of a bird?
Wow.
Have you ever seen nature walk before? Oh, you need to look that up.
Wow. Didn't find a purse with a campfire. Crazy.
I'm not sure what deals are.
DWI. Well, actually, it's could just be bad roads.
I was coming home from work.
Okay.
So as I was coming up through Grand Ave, I went to go into the turn lane, hit a patch of ice or whatever. My anti-brake, whatever, did the because it couldn't brake.
Your
And I
ABS.
rear-ended the car in front of me.
Okay, so you were
So I
driving
kinda-
north?
Yeah, I was going this way.
Okay, perfect. And the front of your car hit there. Private.
I'm continuing past this because this is
From that number of snow.
just
website that you
exhilarating
want, you can
police
do that.
work here. This is pretty common though. This is what most days look like. Even in a busier city, it's a bunch of bullshit calls. Should lose 911 privileges.
Hey, is
I
this your
agree.
vehicle? Yeah. Okay.
Put on like a 3-strike rule.
Get here to pull me out. Gotcha. What happened?
Got about halfway up the
Slipped
hill
on some
and
ice.
started sliding backwards. There was nothing I could do.
Okay.
Gosh darn it, we were on our way to
Oh, dude.
Christmas
The fact that this looks like a Saturn, could be a Pontiac, is like still on the roadway. God bless him.
concert at that church up there.
Okay.
She was Squirtle chill.
Some people just.
I'm gonna skim through this some more.
They're coming to block the top of the hill, so we can at
there's
least
so much
get
snow.
warning when somebody's coming.
God.
Good. How are you? Yeah, I got another officer gonna block traffic at the top of the hill there, so I'll let. So should be good for you, okay?
These tow trucks are like the Air One of Canada and up north. It's just they're the heroes.
Yep.
Tow truck people, dog. The real heroes.
I'll
Probably
I'm
just-
actually gonna get in the car and I'll
Okay.
back it down because
Deputy Rex.
I should have stuck with my gut instinct to stay home tonight. I've had a good run. 53 years old. This is the first time I put my car in a ditch.
There you go.
Oh, that's pretty good. Riveting, Josh.
This is doing for you and
Yeah, this was. Let's go ahead and take some points. I'm gonna take it from chat. Why not? We'll take it from chat. Somebody suggested this. Emu, I'm looking at you. But it's totally fine. Kev. Okay. Inside the most sophisticated drug lab in Canadian history.
You live in this tiny rural town of about 1,000 people, about an hour outside of Kamloops, BC. One day, you wake up and there are hundreds of police officers swarming a rural property down your street. That property, you find out, is what police call the biggest, most sophisticated drug lab in Canadian history.
Like something out of Breaking Bad.
It's just incredible. It's overwhelming.
People were just really stunned.
The RCMP calls this a super lab, producing an unprecedented amount of illicit drugs. In total, they recovered almost 400 kilos.
Hold on. Why do they have so many Chris Vectors? That's weird. What else is this? I'm just going back here. I will say this, that is a lot of guns. But yeah, these are like 4 or 5 Chris Vectors. That's weird.
Almost 400 kilos of meth, 54 kilos of fentanyl, that's tens of millions of doses, plus smaller amounts of MDMA and cocaine.
Wow.
And that
MDMA and fentanyl production's complicated. So this isn't hyperbole. This is legit.
It's just the stuff that was ready, waiting to be shipped out. Investigators say
Sorry.
this lab had enough source material on hand to potentially triple that output.
These enforcement actions have undoubtedly saved thousands of lives in Canada. It has also served to deny this transactional organized crime.
It's a terrible looking uniform. Not a fan of this. Also, this like medallion thing for the RCMP is kind of weird looking too.
Group, an estimated $485 million in profits.
And this wasn't just about drugs. 400 kilometers away in Surrey, BC, they also say they recovered 46 handguns, 20...
Hold on. Let's see if we have anything legit here. Oh, is this a Surefire light here? There's a lot of Glocks. This is like a P80 here. You can tell because of the Picatinny rail. Here's 1911. More 1911s. This is like a weird, goofy looking pistol here. This is a compensated 1911. That's kind of goofy. More 1911s. This is like a Smith & Wesson shield here. These are legit guns. This isn't like your usual like goofy looking stuff here.
21 AR-15.
This is a shotgun. Chris Vector. This is an AR. AR, not an AR. That's an MP5. This is some amalgamation of parts. This is an AR. This is, oh, dude, this is like not a Scorpion. Oh, no, this might be a Scorpion. They got some cool guns here, actually.
15 style rifles, 14 submachine guns, at least 2 50 caliber rifles capable of shooting through concrete walls.
All of those guns are capable of shooting through concrete walls.
Explosives, body armor, and $500,000 in cash.
When they laid them out, it did look like
it's kind of wild.
You know, enough firepower to arm a sizable militia, honestly.
But even all this risks missing the bigger picture, because what also shocked investigators was just how elaborate the whole operation was. What it tells them about who might have been involved and how far-reaching this network might just be. Let's go through it.
Dang! This is wild. This really is kind of Breaking Bad style. Normally, when you look at like drug labs, they're not nearly as sophisticated. Like they've got like commercial style vents here to vent all of the like bad gases. This is designed to be like a clean room. Like they clearly keep it clean. This is like lab grade material stuff. That's kind of wild. And illegal because BB gun is illegal in Canada.
There was one word the RCMP kept using over and over to describe this lab.
It is extremely sophisticated, highly sophisticated.
So what do they mean by that? Well, here's a look at one of the rooms inside, courtesy of the RCMP. We spoke to the head of the team investigating this super lab, and we reached out to 2 chemists with expertise in illicit drug manufacturing to try and break down what exactly was going on here and what makes this lab so sophisticated.
And even like these beakers and stuff, I was pre-med prior to deciding that I wanted to be a police officer. And a lot of this equipment doesn't look expensive, but really, really is. And it's also hard to source because there's only so many manufacturers that make even the specific flasks that you might need for like synthesizing drugs, basically. Shit's complicated.
This one certainly had the equipment, certainly had the chemicals on hand and the precursors to continue a high level of production.
Let's start with equipment. Those big green jugs in the back probably caught your eye first. According to the RCMP, they're a type of chemical reactor, literally where ingredients are added and drugs are synthesized.
So we call them jacketed reactors, meaning that they're sort of like a double wall outside.
Clip that.
Ingredients are added and drugs are synthesized.
So we call them jacketed reactors, meaning that there's sort of like a double wall outside that
I'm a
green
child.
that's kind of like a coolant system that keeps the reaction controlled in temperature.
Controlled, by the way, so that it doesn't explode. These are volatile compounds, and this is specialty equipment that you don't just walk into a hardware store and buy. The chemists we spoke to figure per machine, the cost could be up to $100,000.
They are often made especially for the drug producers because they are very large size and they're sort of made to specification, if you like. And so it's a huge amount of investment, huge amount of money.
Then there's this. Not something police believe is used at all in the mass manufacture of illicit drugs. It looks more like an experimental setup, something you'd see in an R&D lab.
Is that piece of equipment there that really gleaned my attention? It's interesting because that's a very scientific type of equipment typically we don't see in a drug lab.
In fact, police in BC tell us they've never seen this in a meth or fentanyl lab before. One possibility they're considering is that criminals were using it to experiment, to come up with new, perhaps more potent types of fentanyl. Health Canada is even taking samples to confirm if that is the case.
And if it does, it potentially gets us, an advance notice of maybe a future trend of drug production or a different method of drug production that we haven't seen here before.
Here's another view of the lab from the RCMP, a different room. And this is a chemical minefield. These barrels, they should be chained to the wall so that they don't fall over. According to our experts, they're likely some kind of highly toxic, highly flammable solvent. And
Notice they're not telling you exactly what it is because they don't want to be teaching you what the precursors are to drug making.
these white bags, most likely drug-making ingredients so corrosive, you'd get a chemical burn just by touching it. But consider one other thing. What experts say is the most foundational ingredient, the one you can't make a drug without, and what's called a precursor.
So a precursor is basically...
It's kind of like what's in Sudafed and stuff like that if you want to make meth. There's stuff like that where the chemical compounds that get you high have to be a part of the drug itself, right?
Sort of like a building block
Yeah.
Of the molecule, of the final molecule. So a lot of the precursors are now starting to make it on the controlled substance lists in various countries, but it's still these cooks. When they want to cook something, they still find a way.
The RCMP says they found a significant volume of these precursor chemicals at this lab. About 5,000 liters of liquid precursor and 10 tons of powder. Enough to continue to churn out
meth
and fentanyl for weeks, if not months, without having to restock.
It's not just an average citizen that can wake up tomorrow and decide to import quantities of precursors.
I was surprised to see how much they had and how readily available they were able to access it.
But it wasn't just the existence or amount of...
A lot of times you'll see this, that you'll get it from out of country. So you'll have someone like China or something like that that's allowing that amount to get sold. Because obviously they want to sell it from a business standpoint, but also there's like the fringe benefit of being able to destabilize a country, which obviously there's some interest in that. Any North American country is subject to this type of foreign interference.
Precursor chemicals that startled the RCMP. It looks like they
I'm
were
the
actually
cook,
making their
eh?
own, which is a whole other level of expertise.
And of a particular concern is the discovery of several tons of unregulated chemicals believed to be used to produce P2P.
P2P is one of those precursors we talked about. It's one of the base ingredients used to make meth. It is a heavily controlled substance, and because of that, it's hard to find. It's also hard to make. So finding evidence that this group was manufacturing P2P from scratch, that's like the RCMP cracking an art heist and finding the Mona Lisa.
You do need to have people who have some chemical knowledge, especially when producing large quantities of chemicals. So you might have what's called a chemical engineer who's been working in industry and he knows what it involves. It could be a very well organized situation.
As most people know from a TV series or Breaking Bad, That was their method.
If you're a Breaking Bad fan, you might remember Walt starts out his meth-making career by using pseudoephedrine as a precursor. That's in sinus medicine. This has been the most common route in North America over the past few decades. But a few seasons in, Walt links up with Gus, who connects him with a P2P dealer. And it's P2P that lets him suddenly create a much purer product with much better margins. And I promise I'm going somewhere with this because eventually,
I'm curious.
him and Jesse
I'm
link up
fascinated
with the
by this. I'm
Mexican
sorry for just
cartel
watching
and
this
find
together.
out that they actually make their own P2P.
They synthesize their own. What? The P2P manufacturing method has been the primary method used by Mexican cartels to produce methamphetamine for years. This brought the level of sophistication.
So you're just basically getting foreign investors that are, and by foreign investors, likely cartel or some form of organized crime. That are, it's the same thing as rum running or whatever. I guess these are Fed boys. I'm assuming. I'll give them some points here. We'll give them 10. Oh, this is state boys. Hold on. That's not who I was giving it to. Wait, RCMP is state. Never mind. Yeah, that is state. I'm doing that correctly. Shout out to media. I'll give media some points back. 43. No, 2. They talk about regulating it, and I think regulation is the wrong way to look at it. I think you have to look at why do we have people wanting to abuse the drugs in the first place. They're making a product people want. We need to figure out why they want it and figure out if we can discourage that or replace it with something that's safer. If you told Walmart they could make something that would make people not want meth ever and was healthier and didn't have as many issues or whatever, that would be an easier and quicker way to dismantle that. There's too much money into all this stuff, and then vice and so on and so forth. I think it's more, are they feds? Oh, they are feds then. So then we will give the points to the feds. You guys were very adamant about them being feds. Look at Canadians. RCMP is feds. I learnt that earlier. They get addicted. Because life is boring. You're doing it wrong if life is boring. Only one person has been charged? Oh my God. That's wild. Sin. Karen AFO. That's crazy. Okay. That's fascinating. Moment Karen realized her act wouldn't fool the police. Oh. You gotta call me on a typo. Yeah, that's how I speak. Was hoping you would... Well, what is the conclusion? Wow. What was the conclusion, Emu? Give me a small overview.
We're done. You got my license? Yes. Oh, here we go. Yep. Here we go.
That sounded a little pornographic. What was the conclusion? Somebody tell me.
On September 23rd, 2023, in Islam...
Dude, I wonder if it's this actual voice or they have like a total like AI generated thing here. This is kind of creepy if this is completely AI generated.
Islamorada, Florida, a female driver who was driving erratically and nearly caused an accident was pulled over.
Looks like you were doing some shopping on the mainland, huh? What do you want from me? Like I said, I just wanted to make sure that you are okay to drive and go home. I tell you what, do me a favor, turn the car off for me.
Yellow dollar sign.
A little bit, all right? I'll be right back with you. Just wait here, okay?
Yes, we got
give me a few more
demonetized.
minutes. I have a little problems with the computer, okay? You doing a little bit better? Why are you pulling me over? I was following you because we got a call about your driving. People were saying, from the 100-mile mark.
The officer gave the woman time to calm down. However, as soon as the officer asked for her cooperation, her attitude completely changed.
When you pulled in
You also
here,
out of pocket?
you made a very...
I'm not going to do that.
You're not going to do what?
I'm
no.
not gonna do
Put
that.
your car in park. Put your car
Hey,
in
go ahead,
park.
everybody drop a like. If you guys get
Ma'am,
to
put your car in park.
90, I'll
Step
give you
out-
guys
All
points.
the way in park. Step out of the car for me. Because you were about to take off on me, and you are now lawfully detained. So please step out of the vehicle.
Are you kidding me?
She was lawfully detained before, but whatever.
I'm not kidding you.
Ma'am, please step out.
My whole life is demonetized.
No? No.
Listen, step out of the car. I am giving you a lawful order to step out of the car.
This is now interference or
We're
resisting.
recording
One of
too.
two. Probably interference.
That's fine, but you need to step out of the car.
Step out, please. You just let me record everything.
First you step out of the car, then you record anything.
Ma'am, well, you're either... Really? Yes. Really? Yes.
We've given you several lawful orders for you to step out of the...
Joking. We've had way too busy of a day to joke
Ask,
with
tell,
you
make.
about this.
Ask, tell, make.
Phone is still attached. Yeah, it's gonna...
Oh.
You stand over here, we'll close the door so you know what you don't understand.
Hey, it's Big Sarge.
is that I just left. You guys are just really or you don't understand. I just had my third treatment of breast cancer. And these people have stopped me.
88 likes.
Based on
We're
the
almost
fact
there.
that, given that I can smell alcohol in your breath, okay, you're swaying while you stand, I'm going to ask if you want to consent to some field sobriety exercises.
Of course I would. But
okay.
Consent to a
She was
search?
asked to
What an
perform a standardized field sobriety.
We're going to take some from society for letting this lady exist so far. And then I'm also going to take some from suspects for consenting. You're dumb.
Test SFST. Pay attention to her demeanor. It's clear she's trying to evade
His
the
act
test and
is
stall
bad
for
acting
time.
at charge.
You're not going to be able to do these exercises with
No.
your phone in your hand.
Okay. Well, like I have breast cancer. I have breast cancer, and you two are like.
Okay, so are you going to do these exercises, yes or no?
Of course.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. I don't mean to put you in a.
Nope, we're going to do some exercises first, ma'am.
Oh, man. What a bad time.
Come on, guys, don't do this to me in front of all these people, please.
We don't really have a choice in the matter, okay? Are we refusing to do the rest of these exercises?
No, of course
Then let's
not.
finish
Of
them.
course.
After a series of uncooperative actions,
Stop talking.
the officer
There it
was
is
forced to
for you
place
guys.
her under arrest.
Please, put the phone down.
I want to record all you guys.
Ask, tell, make.
We're recording
And
too.
she actually
Ask,
she don't
tell,
want it,
make.
but, like she got my
Listen, all right,
super
we're
okay.
done.
You got my license?
Yes.
Ask,
here
tell,
we go.
make.
Yep.
Here we go.
Because this is not going to end well for you.
Are you kidding me?
No, we are not kidding you.
Give me.
Can you let them know what?
Give me my phone.
She started losing control and became
Come on,
agitated.
deputas.
She deliberately rolled around on the ground, pretending to be in immense pain and struggling to breathe. Let's take a look at this chaotic scene.
Damn it! Can I not turn it off?
We're gonna take care of all that.
You're hurting me. You're hurting
To be fair, they should have turned this car off while they were doing SFSTs.
me. You're hurting me. You're hurting me. You're hurting me. You're hurting me.
Or society again. Oh. We're taking more away. Oh, I put on number lock. Oh, for letting this lady exist. Why is she not in a patrol car? Come on, deputies.
No, I'm not gonna walk you. You're hurting me. Under to the ground. Oh, why don't you try taking me to the ground? Sit.
Sit.
Take me. Take me. Oh, take me.
I would prefer not.
Take me.
All right,
Oh,
we'll
let's
drop
do
her in the
You're
car
gonna get
on the
spit
ground.
on. You need to
You
put her in
can
the
go to
car.
back of my patrol car.
You watching this? Thank you, baby.
That red light on her car.
Thank you, baby.
See that?
Clip it. 2 to
Are you
23.
trying to trip me now?
You watching this? Thank you, baby.
Oh my God.
Ask, tell, make.
We're going to walk.
Stop.
Ask, tell, make.
Walk.
Nope. My driver's license. Look what you did with my driver's license.
Grab her by the ankle and drag her.
Oh, they see what you did. Don't touch me. Dude, thank you. Call him.
You can call him for.
I'm your son's teacher. I'm your son's teacher.
Ambulance.
Oh man, she teaches
We have an
people.
ambulance coming, so they're gonna help you out. Okay.
Just guess what?
This is the most action this lady's got in a while. I'm gonna skip through some of this.
We'll help you up. I'll have her on her back, but not.
Will this cooperation last, or is it just an act?
Ma'am.
Oh, yeah, okay, I'm gonna fast forward through some of that.
Rescue outfit.
She's choking me! She's choking me! Let me! You know what you did!
Tinnitus instead of funny. Yeah, dog, my tinnitus is getting worse. Oh.
You know what you...
Deborah, look at me real quick, please.
You think I'm gonna set up? You idiot!
Come here. Come on.
Oh, she's getting ready to get kicked.
Mary. Okay.
No! I got pictures of it!
Okay.
She displayed unacceptable,
Dylan says call EMS, yes.
defiant behavior at the police station. This could be an attempt to exploit the situation and avoid punishment.
Is this Christy's fault?
Come on.
Where's Christy?
Sit. Thank you. Stop.
Stop.
No!
Right?
Did
You're
you
gonna get
just?
another charge, okay? So stop. Relax.
Get off of me! Get off of me!
Relax.
You're choking!
Nobody's choking.
You're choking!
Relax.
Stop.
I've had 3
Relax.
calls that were identical
Oh,
to
God
this.
damn it. You're
They
choking.
got over. They were a lot
trying
over
to
a lot
bite
faster
you.
than this, though.
Well, I saw you.
Oh, I see. We're all in together. Okay.
Deb,
Can you
please.
open your mouth for me? I just gotta make sure you ain't got nothing in there. I mean, we can sit here and sit here and sit here.
Honey, I can see her all night.
The faster we get this over, the
I don't
faster you
give
can go to the bathroom.
No. Stop it! Get these off of me!
If you keep acting up, I'm gonna lift the handcuff and you're gonna stay like that for another hour. Okay? Okay.
Look what you did to me!
The police station was thrown into chaos by her intense screaming and struggling.
Ask, tell, make, dog. Just put her in a cell. She'll get tired. It's wild as this lady's allowed to drive. This lady's probably allowed to own a firearm. Like, Steve. I don't know, dog. I'm going to say deputies are probably giving her a little too much room. I mean, they did the right thing in enforcement action. They at least investigated the DWI. I'm only going to give them 2 points, though. This is taking way too long.
In disregard for the law, stronger measures had to be taken.
Yep, put her in a chair.
You let me do it easily. I can put you in moving like that.
Been here, man. Yeah, you get these. I probably got this call like every other month where I worked. We had a couple crazy ladies. I'm gonna take some points from chat for making me watch this. It wasn't as triggering as I thought it'd be, but it was definitely not a good time. Thank you for whoever submitted this. Joe Schmo, what's going on? Dude, no kidding. The bite zone was definitely there. Hey, what's going on, Keith? Yeah, it's definitely a bite waiting to happen. Yes, my love. Yes, of course. Here you go. The chat says hi, I'm sure. It's on a delay, but they'll say hi. Pals, you're welcome. Hold on, where's Christy? I'm going to go ahead and hold on. Timeout just for this. Put user in timeout. 10 seconds. You butthole. You can take points for Christy setting a standard. It's good to see you, Keith. Oh my goodness. Sam, it's good to see you too. +5 for Josh being respectful. Hey man, that's the love of my life. That's my lady. You gotta be Christy. Everyone, thank you for saying hi to Mrs. OnlyCops or Mrs. Josh. Got a 10-second timeout. RJ, yes, I will tell her you said hi. Oh my goodness. World War Z, extremely strange subject. That's setting a precedence here. There's your Stop and Rob over there. I'll talk about rural. These also look like duplexes. Like a weird mix of duplexes and apartments. Bro, could you have taken this turn any wider? Oh, there might have been pedestrians. That's why I took it wide. Never mind. I take it back. Yeah, dude, Stop and Robs. That's what I had. I had a bunch of those. Rural? Rural? How do you say rural? Trevor, what's going on? Also, Atlas, what's going on? When we hit 90 likes, let me know and I'll give you guys the points. I guess I can check on my phone. Good old Robin Go. Dude, Sarah, what's going on? My boy's having a hard time. My boy's gotta be hot. Dude, also, like, this guy keeps keying up. That is the radio hitting all the repeaters it has to do to get to the station. That's the key up tone, and he keeps keying up, but he's not saying anything. Oh, he's speaking. We just barely hear him. What in the Florida man? North Little Rock. It's a city. Boy's having a bad time. Golly. Well, a -10 to admins in the city for keeping such bad streets. Whoa. I'll just do 5. I'll do 5. I'm taking enough from them. I feel like you should be able to articulate pitting.
Hands up! Your hands up! Hands up! Get on the ground! Hands up! Hey, you better cooperate. You bit my dog. What are you doing?
Cooperate.
You bit my dog.
Using the turn signal. You know what? Frag for you, dog. I'll +5 it. We're suspects. Here we go. There you go. Play. Play. There you go. Pit now! You gonna see anything? With the stream light and the it's an RMR. My dog. It's on a Glock, but I'll allow it. Shout out to Gloves.
Bro, what you bobbing your head for? Calm down. You see there ain't nothing back there, right?
Yeah, there's way too many people shouting commands.
Ain't no, you going to jail, my guy. Watch your knees, watch your knees. I'll talk to you here in a little bit. Hey!
Boy, it's high.
Hey!
Now, I have seen K2 do this to people before. Also seen Spice. There's a couple different names for it, but it's like marijuana laced with something. People are expecting marijuana and then getting a little bit of extra drogas in it. We're gonna do. Yeah, I'm gonna take some points. This is PD, unfortunately. I'm only gonna take 2. It's a tactics error. It's not really like anything unjustified. The guy got taken into custody. Nobody got hurt, which is a good thing. And then suspects for getting injured. I'm gonna take 1. Taking too many drogas. I'm just gonna say this is really bad allergies. This guy's probably high out of his mind, poor guy. Okay. Oklahoma police officer.
Police officer, and he's no stranger to being on the wrong side of the law. This time, he's accused of driving drunk.
Something Officer David Young got in trouble for last year. At the time, he worked for the police department in Seminole. News 4's Caitlin Ogle shows us what happened this time around and the officer's apparent confession.
Like I told you,
there ain't no getting past anything like this.
That's Okemah officer David Young Friday night in Shawnee after a Pottawatomie County deputy spotted his damaged truck split open like a sardine can, airbags deployed, running on rims.
He actually heard him first. He heard a noise like a grinding noise.
Young pulls into a local bar. You can see the deputy's lights not too far behind him. Young casually stumbles inside, then tossing what deputies say appears to be a bottle of Febreze over the bar.
He's told the bartender, I never left. I was here the whole time.
Eventually, deputies get the 37-year-old cuffed and in the back of a patrol car. At first, Young denies it was him behind the wheel.
I wasn't driving.
he said you were.
He saw me sitting by a door of a bar.
He's seen you driving by.
He saw me
Your
driving by.
That excuse doesn't hold up for long.
Doors are locked. And that's the key to it.
Okay.
So, keys on him.
Inside the truck, deputies find numerous items from the force, like his bulletproof vest.
There's that. Take that.
That's not his no more.
He ain't gonna be a cop anymore.
Along with his rifle, a full magazine, and his pistol.
Dang.
Make sure hey, and one in the chamber. Okay.
On the floorboard, his Okemah police badge, body camera, and radio wet.
It was covered in alcohol next to an empty can of Michelob Ultra.
And finally, a 12-pack of
Michelob
Michelob
Ultra.
Ultra, 4 cans shy of being full.
What? Guess what?
What do you find?
There's an open out container.
With the evidence stacked up against him, Young comes clean.
He's admitted to being an alcoholic.
Hey, you're a cop. You get it. I got a job to do, right? You would do the same to me.
Guilty.
Guilty.
I'm guilty. Whatever you said I did.
You know what? I'm gonna give 10 to PD for arresting this guy, and I'm gonna say that this guy's a suspect. And we're gonna take points from suspects here. Where'd suspects go? Suspects. It's right in front of me. Here it is. We're gonna take 5 for not respecting his Fifth Amendment rights, like an idiot.
So was you driving?
Yep, 100%.
What an idiot! Stop talking.
While we were talking to the sheriff and the deputies, Young gave me a call. He didn't have too much to add. Mumbling, he was, quote, screwed. The sheriff and his deputies hopes Young finds help because this could have had a different ending.
I'm not too empathetic with someone who's going to put other people's lives at risk.
Agreed.
In Potawatomi County, Caitlin Ogle, Oklahoma's News 4.
All right, Caitlin. Deputies never figured out exactly where Young wrecked his truck. He told them he didn't know either. We also called the Okemah Police Department. They told us no comment and would not confirm his employment.
What?
I have eyes on a...
Oh. We might watch that just for giggles. This got played on accident, but we're going to take more from administrators here. That was... How do you not have an answer for that? Dude caught stone cold drunk with all of his police equipment? Like, guy should be going, like, he's no longer working here. It's not complicated. It doesn't require that long of an investigation. Dude was, like, hammered. That's... Wow. Never heard of fired pronounced that way. Sarah, it's also good to have you here. Miss Sarah. I'm going to pin that. Wow. Mikalov. What is this?
It's like a black male wearing a black tank top in the kitchen. If we still have RP on the phone, can we have them all come out?
All right. Hey, we're going to call one more time to see if we can get this guy to come out.
Can you come outside? Okay, come outside, please, and walk towards our vehicles just with nothing in your hand. Some people are there. Okay, I understand that. We just want to get everyone out safely.
It's probably the chief's cousin for sure.
When you're outside, I don't know how many people you have inside. You said you can't tell me, so it would be easier if I could get everyone outside. Is anyone in danger? Yeah, we're coming in through the door then. We need to go.
Right now?
Okay.
What's going on? Well, tell us what's going on.
He said he can't talk freely. I asked if anyone's in danger. He says, But he said he doesn't want his door busted, so he'll come to the door.
Not a great situation tactically. You should, though I understand exigency, probably should at least explain, do we have a shooter? Do we have a description of the shooter? Do we have how many people are in there? Is the guy in there by himself? Like, if you're going to ask officers to exercise exigency, which they're going to potentially force entry, maybe give them an explanation as to why, or you better go yourself, and they're just going to go to help you. Because if a gunfight happens, they need to know why they're getting into it, especially if they're forcing entry. Also, make an arrest plan. Don't just run up there if you have time. Clearly, they have time. They're on the phone, like, hanging out. So make a plan. Don't just, hey, let's go. That's not how that works. Make a plan.
Put away, please. We're coming inside, doing a welfare check.
How many people are in here? All right, you three come this way.
Come outside, please.
Hey, just keep your hands up.
There, hang on.
What did I do?
Hey, hang on, relax.
Hey, get your hands up right now.
Whoa, what's happening?
Okay, walk down.
You want my ass back?
All right, come on down.
Okay, buckle my pants.
Yep, come on down.
We are at the make phase. If you believe there's like an armed person, you're at the make phase. You're pulling people out. You're not waiting.
Walk down.
This is ridiculous.
Okay.
Oh, baby.
No.
All right, I'm going to take your backpack off.
My backpack?
Not you. Lock it in. We put your handcuffs on it right now.
Dude, stop. He didn't do anything. No, let him go.
Hey, stop.
But he didn't do anything. Why are you touching
Interference.
my
Interference.
You didn't-
Straight to one threat. If you get in the way again, you're going to jail for interference. They get in the way again, interference. If not, this is going to get nothing but worse.
Do anything. Back up on my man, bro.
Not under arrest. We're obviously here because somebody called 911, right?
Who called 911?
That's what we're trying to figure out.
No.
So I need you to stop.
No.
So we're trying to figure
You're
it out.
arresting my man for what? No, stop touching me.
Interference.
No, stop.
Interference.
Okay, I understand.
Okay, he's not under arrest. He's being detained because we got called that someone had a gun. And
No one has a gun.
Listen to me.
I know, I understand.
He's being detained because someone had a gun.
She's probably just
At
drunk.
this point, I
That's
want you
it.
to detain me.
What?
I want you to detain me at this point. I don't have anything on me, but I just don't want my boyfriend to be in trouble. Dude, let go of him. Dude, let go of my bro.
It's okay, baby.
He didn't do anything. Let go of me.
Baby, I love you. It's okay.
Maybe she's high.
You're being detained.
I'm being detained?
For pimps? Jeez.
If my dad's aware.
Are you the person who called? No, I'm not the person who called. The Caucasian male over there is my best friend. You know?
Do not put me in the car. JJ, bro, don't put me in the car. Bro, let me go. Let me go. I didn't do anything.
This Caucasian man is my friend.
I didn't do anything. I
Gen Z's wild,
I
dude.
will. Don't touch
Only
me.
Gen Z
But
would
can you
say some
listen to
shit
me?
like that.
I would like to.
My dad is an officer.
Put your foot in the car.
I think this lady's
Okay,
high.
can you listen to me though?
I'm gonna go on that side and listen to you. Put your
Okay,
foot in the
but
car.
as long as somebody listens to me.
I'm gonna listen to you. Put
No,
your foot in the car.
come back and listen to me.
I will come to listen to you.
Then why do you think someone's calling 911?
Because you already see why.
So there's just argument going on.
It's just arguments.
Listen to me.
I just need you to de-escalate.
Why are we opening?
I
Okay, hold on.
understand.
This is PD. Okay, we're taking points. Oh, this didn't change. I'm gonna put him at 0 so far. This is pissing me off now.
I do understand because my dad is a cop. Okay. And you can run his name.
Okay, I was trying to listen to you out there, but you.
I know. I'm escalated.
So what?
I'm
what do you want me
escalated.
to listen to?
I just want you to know I'm not doing anything wrong.
Stay in the car.
Okay, I am gonna stay in the car, but also my pants are falling down. So do you mind if I stand up and?
Okay, just stay in the car.
Okay, but I'm gonna lift my
your
pants up.
are staying? Okay.
Yes. Just.
Okay.
She's
so
in
what do you
control of
want me
the
to-
I
stop
did
now.
nothing wrong.
I'm trying to treat
We're trying
you
to stop
with
this
respect. I need you to-
investigation, I
to-
guess.
Okay, I will treat you with respect. I will treat you with the respect you give me.
+5, -10 for reopening. Yeah.
Gun?
What did she do?
She showed the gun and went out on foot, but she was.
She just showed it, or she pulled
Everybody
out and
here's
pointed at somebody?
hammered or
What
high.
did she do?
No one's pointing guns.
Okay, so nobody pulled out and pointed it.
Just don't mess with guns.
So what did she do? She just showed it?
Yeah, and then my roommate said, get out.
Which roommate was that?
The bigger guy.
This girl over here brandished a gun at somebody inside, made you guys feel uncomfortable, you called 911. So when an officer was talking to you on the phone, you said people inside were in danger. Do you know what she did with the gun, where it's at now?
Don't have any idea.
You don't have any idea?
So you sit down and I'll get you back.
Baby!
See, hey, you're being
JJ!
Listen.
Baby! JJ!
We're gonna work on getting everybody released if nothing happens.
This is why the door stays closed.
But I need to make sure that nothing happened, and you haven't told me what happened yet.
Nothing happened. I'm new to this. I'm a good girl, bro. Can I please go over to my boyfriend?
No, 'cause
you didn't question me by him.
Okay, there's stuff going on right
Baby!
I'm gonna take 5 more for tactics. This is getting ridiculous.
Yeah, this guy's saying that the dude sitting in front of the company actually has
Stop, Shelby, stop!
in the park. Which park?
I'm doing the soundboard for y'all since I can't do it because
He
OBS
said he did
is the only
sit in
thing
park.
running stuff now.
Do you know where about?
I don't know.
Do you know what it was? Was it a gun, knife, what? A gun. Do you know what
A
that
gun.
was?
Let's throw the barrel.
Did anybody else?
Yo!
Me!
No one's gonna kick you.
No, he's threatening people.
Nah, bro. You gotta relax. You can't do that, okay?
Yes, there was. Talk to me. There was a gun? Who had the gun?
For trying to sing up Justin Bieber's song.
Baby! Dude, let me go by him! Baby!
Bro, shut the door.
Because this doesn't matter.
I played myself. I can't be mad at anybody. I clicked this myself, but
What's up?
do the Derek
You're not gonna
sound.
cooperate. I'm gonna have to cut this.
Aw. There it is.
Do it, then. Hey, what's up? It felt something hard. Don't ever touch me.
Lay him down. Lay him down. Lay him down.
Yo, you can't say that word. I know.
No, that was,
That's mine.
But like I am telling you, this that I will.
Don't worry, you're gonna stay down.
I've been all over the place trying to like diffuse like.
Bro, everybody's high here.
Hey, enough! Stop!
We're taking points away. Every time I see this door open, no, we're just getting punitive. Stop it.
Open the door!
Relax.
Let me out! This is up! I didn't do anything wrong! My dad is a cop!
They don't give a if your dad's a cop. Look how you're acting. Calm down.
If you're gonna yell, we're not gonna.
Based society. Hold on. I'm going to give him some points here. 65 to society. Let's go.
Sorry, I'm just trying to talk some sense into her.
I know, but
She's hard-headed as.
Right.
Please, okay, cool, let me out, let me out. I'm good. Let me call my dad, bro. Cool, let me the out. Let me out!
Shut the door.
So I've got a couple different in here. So
What are we doing?
No, stop touching leave me.
Why is this open? What are we doing?
No, let me go. I want the out. We're not letting you go. No. Dude, wait with you know.
When a nurse and a cop have a kid. What you got here?
Two on him. The guy with no shirt is the victim.
I don't know about the no shirt, but I got the girl as a victim and the homeowner. An adult, I'll just be honest with everybody. JJ's not supposed to have a gun. Okay, so he's going to jail for also, you know, threatening people with a firearm.
Deadly
Can't do
conduct.
that.
Hey, this is
Potentially
JJ.
assault.
He is under arrest
Her face.
for pointing guns at people. We took him to the ground. And
Hey, man, the fire department's here to check you out, okay?
No, but
Your cuffs are not too tight.
And obstruction.
Oh, here we go. Let's go. Let's see it.
Journey was charged with obstructing a law enforcement officer. Skyler was charged with unlawful possession of a firearm and obstruction of justice. They are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law.
Dumb. Okay. Not clicking anything on accident. That was an annoying one. I'll give them 2 points back because at least they didn't add something dumb like resisting. JJ got decentralized. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Last 4, and then we're done for the evening. I will carry this. We'll see if I can get Discord to work. We'll do a little bit of an after party. The baby after party. Outnumbered. That's from like the teens.
In their separate ways, the thousands that inhabit the city begin all the officer traffic violators, felons, dangerous neurotics, and honest, sincere citizens. Some of these people will meet with the officers of the watch before the day is ended. For what
I know Phoner was here.
be prepared.
Where's Phoner?
Certainly one of the most common yet complex problems this officer will have to face is this: how to stop that car. Effect to stop. As he nears the suspect's car, he must be prepared. No vehicle stops or to a position that's on the horn, the position of the police car, approximately 8 feet behind the suspect's car, and offset about 3 feet farther to the left. Communications should be notified as to location, activity, and license number before the officer exposes himself to possible danger.
That's before you stop.
The violator's license is made. This will assist later investigations.
Also known as
should any
millennials.
unforeseen injury come to the officer.
This really is Adam 12.
The officer removes the keys from his car. Who is decided to act? In taking a position to question the violator, stand to the rear of the violator's front door. This forces the violator to turn and look at you. A casual readiness may still provide the margin of life and death. Alert observation should continue like this rather large supply of checkbooks. No, not the wallet, just the driver's license. The overabundance of credit cards should further arouse the officer's suspicions.
Arouse the officer's suspicions. Like the amount of hairspray this lady has on.
Without alarming the violator, any suspicions can quickly be checked. A want can be run in about the same time it takes to write a traffic citation.
Squirtle.
Books and credit cards is no coincidence. He is wanted on several counts of forgery.
Wanted for forgery.
A traffic violation results in the capture of a wanted suspect, simply on the basis of careful observation. In terms of minutes, within minutes of car and robber, a knowledge he should and lend assistance, outrun the pursuing car. Turn your motor off and throw your keys out of the car. This eliminates an escape potential. Keep your hands in sight. No, up. In sight. Hands up could have been.
Nothing to see here.
The men in the front seat are told to place their hands on the windshield, palms up. Those in the rear seat are ordered to put their hands on top of the...
I was a fan of hands to the ceilings. Because it's much more obvious when they went to go drop their hands versus here, they could like slowly bring their hands down. I liked, I should just say, everybody put your hands on the ceiling.
Front seat, palms up. Even though they are stopped, the officer should not attempt to effect the arrest beyond this point alone. His advantage is in his position. He should wait for help.
Dude, yeah, suspects were way more compliant back in the day.
At the right rear of the suspect's car. When he is in position, the officer taps the car and makes enough noise to let them know that more than one officer is present. He should keep a close surveillance on the suspect through the rear window. Now the suspects are... The second officer controls the suspect and then cross his legs. Assists the search. He checks the vehicle to determine if there are hidden suspects.
I think we've seen this arrest actually before. I thought it was good. This is municipals. I'm gonna give municipals points. Let's go +5 for good tactics. And I'm gonna give some media. I mean, they really did used to put a lot of effort into these training videos back in the day. They don't anymore. They're terrible, or they just didn't make new ones. They're pretty awful. I'm gonna make new ones of these. We should make like modern, well done training videos on how to conduct traffic stops. That'd be smart. What to look for, like first person view, like what to look for and stuff like that. It'd be kind of cool.
I work in the Isle of Barra, but prior to this, I used to work in Jiu-Jitsu
Put your hands on the cylinders like you just don't
Lothian
care.
Borders. I've been here since October.
This is not a good place for your cell phone, unless you don't plan to get into fist fights. But where is this? A rural policing in... Where's this at? Scotland. Maybe they don't get in as many fights.
So I've been here about 10 months. I've only been a police constable for 4 years. So I'm quite new to the job. Not the main reason why I joined Police Scotland, but one of the reasons why Police Scotland is so good is it just...
Oh, I wonder if this is like their de facto body cam. And in that case, that's kind of cool. It's like a body cam / whatever. I have a very similar like OtterBox. Mine's kind of tore up because I used the hell out of my thing, but I have almost the exact... in fact, this is probably just a different model of the same phone. Shout out to them.
Affords you the opportunity to travel, to go to places that
Oh,
you maybe
nice.
wouldn't be able to go to in any other job. There's not that many jobs on bar on these kind of remote places, but obviously they always need cops. And an application went up online for the Western Isles, and I just thought, why not? We cover Barra and
I
Battersea.
think they only have stab vests. These don't look ballistic.
So Battersea is a separate island that is connected to Barra via causeway. There's about 1,200 in total between Barra and Battersea. It's quite...
Is this hold on? Is this like PD? Or is rural policing like their equivalent of... Do they just have state police? Or is this like federal? Someone tell me what kind of policing this is. I could take some points.
Spaced out, so that the biggest probably township I would say is
Township.
Castle Bay, which is where I stay, but that's where the police station is, it's where the school is, it's the co-op
There's
there.
legit a castle
It's
there.
a kind of
That's
mixed
kind of fun.
Gaelic community, so Gaelic's still a major part of life here.
Is that Gaelic? Is that what Gaelic is? It's the same thing? Is that an Anglicanized version of that word?
I don't speak Gaelic in any way, shape or form. I think I know 2 words. That's not something that has ever been an issue. I mean, I think the pros are this.
The view is nice.
It's beautiful. I mean, it's absolutely spectacular. I mean, in the winter, it's wild, and it can get very, very, very windy. I would say the people in Barra are quite pro-police. They tend to be
Must be
quite
nice.
amenable to you. They like to tell you things off the record a lot of the time. So we often get information that way, which is why it's really important to
Township.
have good relationships with them. You don't have the same constraints on your time as you do on the mainland. You've got more ability to deal with
ADHD
jobs,
ideas for empty bros.
you know, more sort of intimately, that you can,
I'm
you can really
fulfilling
get
a
into the meat
promise,
of things if you need
actually.
to. Going about your
Right
daily
now,
life,
as
the
we
locals
speak,
will
I'm
stop
fulfilling
you.
a promise.
You're always a police officer. I mean, you're always a police officer anyway, but there's no anonymity here. You are who you are, you know. It's very easy to look at it and think it's paradise, you know, or we call it paradise, but because it is absolutely stunning. But there are days where it's really, really difficult. And even in the time that I've been here in the 10 months, although we don't have that many sort of full-on dynamic incidents, I have had maybe 3 or 4. So because we're so isolated, when things are difficult, they can be really difficult. If we have a sort of challenging situation with maybe a person who's being difficult, we have no backup. There is no one to help us. I mean, for me, I'm quite an active person, and I love the sea. I love the water, and the water sports here are amazing. I have a paddle board. I've managed to procure a kayak, and I love all that stuff. We go swimming. The kids, I think, within about 3 weeks of being here, and we arrived in the.
I wonder what being difficult means to them versus. I would be curious. I'm fascinated by this idea, and maybe one day. Some company will humor me and let me do this, but like if I recommission here in Texas, right? So I'm a police officer, right? And would go and like swap places for a day. Like I would have, or like for a week, like I'd go be a police officer somewhere else for a week and just ride 2-man with somebody and then make them do it here. I think it'd be fascinating just to see like the difference in expectation for like how you're treated as law enforcement, the type of calls you have to work, stuff like that. I think it'd be fascinating.
In the winter, you know, when you're looking for deal with, especially if your children, my children are maybe a little bit harder because it can get very lonely. But if you like your sports and you're into all that stuff, then it's absolutely the place for you as well. But yeah.
This is like a weird recruiting video. Comments have been turned off. Weak. Did anyone tell me what kind of policing this was? Breaking the Stram. Was it promised? No. Garlic. More useful than Gaelic. I'm going to say that this is municipal. And I'm just going to +1 them for being there. Shout out to them. 2 more. Oh no, 1 more, and then we're done because this is just YouTube stuff in the back end. So 1 more. Last one of the evening, boys and girls. This is the sheriff, Pierce County Sheriff.
I'm Brandon Avalos. Today we're going to be patrolling the Parkland Spanaway area. I've been with the Pierce County Sheriff's Department for a little over 3 years now. Right now we're getting dispatched to a domestic violence call.
Nice.
But we're going to wait for our partner who's going to be backing us before we actually get close to the area.
A real police call.
No, so I don't know that they'll be there, but we'll see.
Must be nice.
It's just a little further up, but that's such a crappy way to go down. That's why I parked down here.
Shout out to her for putting on gloves first. We're getting 3 backups. Or 2 backups, should I say. 3 officers.
We're not getting an answer at the door.
Kick it.
It doesn't look like anyone's here in the cars.
Like cold?
Yeah.
So if you got a call and the car is cold, which means it hasn't left or been anywhere, like maybe they're still here.
So we got a domestic violence call. The only thing that came through to the dispatchers or 911 was the person calling in had said, "Stop hitting me, go away." So when we come down, domestic violence, usually we come 2 officers minimum. We came in, didn't hear anyone knocking. She's not answering the phone, and we weren't able to make contact with her.
Ping it.
So either she's going to call back later, or this is the end of it. Before this,
I would at least try to ping it. Maybe look for a premise history. Maybe ask the neighbors if they saw or heard anything. Sometimes too, I would send somebody like a little bit off to see, like, act like we're walking away and see if I can hear them whispering. As a super secret, I'll kind of let you guys know, I am fixing the infamous broken phone. So for those of you that want to be part of our Patreon group, or for those of you that would like to become a YouTube member, here for as little as $1 a month, it gives you direct access to our Discord. And I actually had this exact call. It is identical to this. Somebody called, didn't say anything, but just put their phone in their closet And basically, this is the victim of a domestic disturbance. And I was in field training, and I was in ghost phase. And they never hung up, and we could kind of hear. So we had to knock on a bunch of doors to figure out where the phone was. And ended up booting the door to go pull this guy out that was holding her hostage. You got to be an advocate for victims here and exhaust whatever resources you have. I'm going to start off with taking some points here from County for not knowing any better. I'll put them at 10. That's fine. It's a little lazy. It's not a great investigation. Oh, well, nobody's there. Nobody answered. Let's leave. Took him 20 minutes to arrive. That too. That's fair. I may actually get back into the Discord. Yes, we'll see if I can get back into the Discord.
I was in the Air
But I do
Force
have the body
for
cam of when it
14
is.
years.
That chair
Common
force.
question why
for 14
I get is why I didn't stay for 20. Well, I was just ready to get out. This is actually the job that I've always wanted to do. I'm originally from California, so I was a cadet down there. And when I moved to Washington
The phone
State,
is at the place to get fixed. So shove it, Sarah. I'll
extended
time out
family,
you.
Per se, were the ones that encouraged me to apply for Pierce County because they had grown up seeing our sheriff, grew up around a lot of Pierce County deputies, and they just kind of really loved the ethos of the department and kind of figured that was something that I wanted to be a part of.
Oh, Nathaniel, what's going on?
Right now we're going to do a what's called a security check. So this is just a vacant piece of property, but there's a lot of transients that like to come and set up tents here. There are no trespassing signs.
It's a Samsung S7.
Take them down and cut through the fences. And it costs the county a lot of money to come in here and clean it all up.
7S, probably.
So we're going to go here and we're going to do some contacts with these people and try to get them moved along. But I also want to find out if they've actually seen this guy.
Oh.
Because the report says he's transient, so
yeah.
We'll go check
Gloves.
it out.
My
Have
dog.
you been back here before? No? Nope. You're in for a treat.
They could repair this fence.
You guys know you're trespassing on here? No. Okay. So I'm gonna be frank with you all, okay? I know that there's a lot of people that come
be Larry.
They set up camp and all that, and every time we clear it out and put signs up, people take them down and cut it. So today it's a verbal warning that you need to start packing it up and getting out of here. We're gonna come back in a few days, and then we're gonna start doing formal trespasses. And then it's gonna progress into arrests. Does that make sense? All right, guys, so you're gonna have to, that's all right. I appreciate you guys being chill and cooperating. That's why we're just handling at this level, okay? So
coming out to this property for years.
Oh, we've seen this guy.
It's split between the county and the city of Tacoma, and unfortunately, the property owners don't live in the county, so when they come out here, it's a total mess. They've done their part. They've been fencing the area off. They come in and clean stuff up. We come through here, and it looks like it does today. So it's not something that people don't know. They know they shouldn't be here. They know not to come back here.
Take them to jail. Shit is not hard. If there's no consequences, there will not be modified behavior. We're taking points now for not doing your job.
And every time
It's
we
the
come in
second
to kick
time I've
people
seen it.
out, we don't clean up the mess. But we want to make sure that we don't allow it to get worse and worse. But unfortunately, the cleanups happen far and few between, and this is what you end up with.
formal trespass, and then it's gonna progress into an arrest, okay? So, all right, thank you.
Dumb.
If you know where he's at, or if you've seen him, I'd appreciate it if you let me know. And
You have 1 day to leave or you're going to jail. That's simple. It's not
I
hard.
won't tell him you told me.
Especially because it's
But
like
the thing
owned land.
Is he stabbed the woman and almost killed her. Just some random female trying to go for a jog. So we're looking for him. Has anybody seen him or know his name?
Wow, and they're stabbing random people running by? Sus.
Yeah. And I hope if you saw him, you tell me something since
Trespassing
I keep
is
giving you
definitely a
warnings.
thing.
All right, we'll go to the other one. I will be. Okay, so, do you know that you're not supposed to be back here? Okay. You're not free to leave yet. Okay? Because I can tell you're already panicking, so let's calm down. So I'm going to explain to you a few things, and then I'm going to get your name, okay? You're trespassing, okay? Can't set up camp here, can't do any of that. My intent is to give you a verbal warning today. And then after that, if I come back, which I will, you will get formally trespassed, and it will progress into an arrest. Hey, I believe you.
Preemptive
I believe you.
self-defense.
That's okay. That's fine. Is that your fancy villa right there?
Yeah.
That's yours. Okay, so that's gonna have to be torn down, and you're gonna have to find some hotels. Is 2 signs and fencing, formal trespassing, and then we'll formally trespass everyone. One of the neighbors is parked his vehicle so they solve their problems and help. No one's in trouble. It's just all we have is a call that there's a neighbor dispute going on.
He's got a drop leg holster for his taser.
Yeah. So we're just trying to make sure we can keep the peace here so nobody gets in any fights or anything like that. So you all are in a living situation here, but
They're squatting. They have rights.
I'm only just telling you this. The state of
Dumb.
We have several people living and renting rooms out
No
of
enforcement action.
residence. Elder gentleman kind of takes issue with the younger residents and had a petition for an anti-harassment order, but the order was denied. So he has another court date where he's going to petition for another order. All we essentially did was provide the other half of information and a court
This
date
is
as to
stressing
when
me
to
out.
appear. Not the thing that
Skipping.
the bonding.
Stand by.
So Moss came out and made what's called a suspicious vehicle stop. The reason for this one was because he saw a gentleman exit the vehicle and looked like he was dumping trash. And this is the transient camp from earlier where there's no one that could be trespassing. So he came to speak with the driver. The only thing that kind of made it even more suspicious was that he started up the car, which is usually an indicator that they're going to run. So we put a stick underneath in case he tries to leave, so we can flatten the tire. And at this
It's okay,
point, he's
Josh.
just trying to identify all the occupants. It's only taking a little bit longer because we have a bit of a language barrier with them right now, but for the most part, they're cooperative.
Agreed.
Okay, do not go in these woods, okay? Everything.
Because he was munching down on his Doritos, but the rear passenger that we saw coming out of the woods went there to meet with another homeless person, I guess just to buy some stereo equipment.
Some narcotics.
And they were, in the long run, they were just ended up
Or likely
conversing with us
stolen
and having fun.
radio.
All right, bye.
I am getting upset at spaghetti.
With all of them.
This is annoying
He has blood on her feet. This is just the welfare check. Some of the tenants in one of the buildings
So the welfare check's going to be drive through the parking lot and leave by their standards so far.
said there's a female in the hallway wrapped up in a blanket and she has blood on her feet. So we're going to see if she needs any help or if she...
It's not that they seem lax. They're just like not doing anything. Like, it sounds like a citizen's problem. Like, what are they paying you for?
It's okay. Just wait for her to open
It's the
it.
same like 3 cops just running around call to call.
Sheriff's Department.
Gloves on or gloves off? Chico. Upsetty spaghetti is indeed. Per me,
Oh, here we go.
2024.
Please.
Police.
Made as Washington State.
Hello. You're all right. You're not in any... Oh. Yeah. You're not in trouble. You're just trying to see if you're okay. I'm just going to be
EMS?
honest with you. I see the foil there. I'm not judging, and I'm not saying it's you.
Drugs.
But if this is a habit you partake in, I would do it somewhere else, okay?
Drugs.
Understood?
Paraphernalia.
All right, you're free to go, sir.
Jail.
So essentially, it was just a...
What did we do? Oh, I can't. They didn't even offer medical. It's whatever. Maybe they did. It's just off camera.
In the hallway, the property managers didn't want him trespassed or anything. They just wanted him to be checked on. It looked like he was an avid drug user because there was foil around him, but we couldn't see anything other than that. So for the time being, we told him he had to leave. He was cooperative. All he had was his sleeping bag and shoes, and he's left and gave us no issues from there.
And weapons violations, even 2 more points, so there's your 42.
So we just had a briefing with animal control. So what we're going to do now is a warrant service where we're going to go in and rescue a dog from its abuser.
No. You're going to show up, knock on the door, and do nothing. I didn't hear the dog bark, so he's not here.
And the reason why there's so many of us going is because
This is making me mad.
the
Jacob, what's
person
going
who
on?
owns the dog
Where's everybody?
has had,
Discord died, so it's
certain
just
encounters
me.
with law enforcement in the past where he's fought with us, and he's actually stabbed someone in an unrelated case. So today we're going a little bit more than usual just for safety reasons and to get the dog because we think that he may try to fight if animal control were to go there alone. So we should be there soon.
Hi, ma'am. I think I've talked to you before, just so you know.
Robert, 1,000%.
Well, everything went as expected, and during the briefing we were told he may resist, which he did a little bit. He tried to backtrack to his room, which we knew he had knives in, but once myself and another deputy went hands-on with him, he stiffened up a little bit, and then we were able to get him into handcuffs and detain him. The dog was rescued and very happy to see everyone else.
Oh, well, shout out to this dog getting rescued.
Hi, pretty girl. And hopefully we'll go to a new home where it'll be treated properly. Everyone else?
I'll tell you what, for a dog that needs rescuing, this dog doesn't look too tore up.
Oh, your puppies.
Maybe I'm jaded.
Hi, pretty girl.
Or maybe the dog was the excuse to take some sort of enforcement
We'll go
action.
to a new home.
I'm happy to see the dog.
Well, thank you for spending a couple hours with me today.
Bro. Oh, I'll give him 3 points back for saving the dog. Anyways, that is the show for this evening. We will be doing Thursday per the usual. Hopefully Discord's working and I can bring the band back together. I'm gonna see if Discord's working. If Discord's not working, I'm sorry, but I probably can't do the after party. I'll try it on my phone. And then there's likely a surprise. There is a long overdue promise that I made a long time ago about fixing a phone that had my own personal body cam footage on it from young baby police officer me. And if you'd like to see that, that is going to be Patreon only because it's some spicy stuff, and the police department likely wouldn't be thrilled about me sharing that. But I will do it. I've done it before on some of the ones that I still had on my current phone, but I had some on the old phone that died that I didn't have access to. Jacob, it's good to see you. If I let 3 murderers run free and stopped no robberies, it sent the dog to the pound. Squirtle pretty much summed up all of it. Fix it, John. It is getting fixed. We're paying money to get it fixed. So don't yell at me, okay? It is literally at the place. Parts are having to get ordered because the phone's so old, and it literally costs me more to fix the phone than it ever would have for me to buy one completely brand new off of eBay. So it is getting fixed. I might not watch the Goonies truly out of spite at this point. Joke's on you. Josh doesn't have a phone. Let's see. Hold on. I'm going to go to chat, and we're going to take 15 for complaints. There you go. You guys can thank specifically Sarah and then Notorious Ebu for complaining. Methinks she doth protest too much. It's a rotary phone. Oh, it's incredible. You're right. I forgot. It's because I was traumatized by my dog. It's a 2005 Sony Ericsson would be hilarious. Nobody behave Thursday. I won't be here, so anyone can take my place. Yeah, hopefully this will be good. The scorecard will stay as such, and then we will have a new first place person. Dialysis Dude was number 1 today, so shout out to Mr. Dialysis Dude for that. We will have a new first place winner in the chat for whoever gets in the chat first. That's not an administrator. And then we'll keep the score. We lost a lot of points collectively today. The only people positive is chat, media, and second responders. That tells you how this Tuesday went. But anyways, I love you all. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your evening, and I will see you guys on Thursday, and hopefully some of y'all in the Discord here shortly. I do love you all. Until next time, peace. I got the shaft. Y'all need to chill.